and like whatever. And so I was like, when I started making videos, I was like, maybe I could be like that or whatever, right? Turns out like I don't have like nobody gives a fuck about what I say about anything. And then because I also realized I wasn't good at like games or really anything in particular. And then I realized that like being maybe funny is all I got. But you led me astray. You thought I could be just like a passionate person about stuff and give like actual life advice and like get anywhere in life.
I'm quite the dick.
No,
I was going to ask you about, you say you're not good at games, but you have so much time in Tarkov. You must be good by now.
Oh, baby, you don't know what my reaction speeds are like. No, yeah, but like I just don't care enough to like put forth the effort on, like people. You ever seen people that like they game sitting up and like they're fucking leaning corners and shit in games, and I'm like, I'm not moving my finger from WASD to like do anything extra than I have to do. You know
no
what I mean?
inventory, nothing.
No inventory.
Like, hotbar, like any game I play, they're like, you could hotbar that stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm opening the inventory and just finding what I want and clicking it. Like I don't fuck with. Try like all that shit.
That's how I play games too.
You don't hop on your beds even.
Well, this is different. Taylor, this
I
is
can't
different.
even reach it over there, but fuck, I messed it up. I got like an MMO mouse, the ones that everybody make fun of with all the buttons down the side.
I've had that.
The least I have to move my hands, the better. I can just do everything with my thumb.
You know what I did for Tarkov? Just for Tarkov, I put foot pedals in on the lean. So now I lean with foot pedals, right and left. Obviously.
Oh yeah,
made a big difference.
Well, I mean, it takes some fucking work away from either of my hands, wherever else it was going to be. So I like it.
The best thing I ever did was I met up with that exfil camper guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that made the video.
What a cool guy, because he totally changed my mind. He's just like, just stop. Why try so hard? He started playing because he could just study for his finals.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he would just be, oh wait, someone's coming, and then he would like actually sit up and put the book to the side and kill him. But like, you don't have to go scrambling for everything, man. Like after I realized that you can kind of just control areas, so to speak, and not run around so much and worry so much, it's so much nicer. I've started drinking during the day now, and
it does sound nice. I can't see that going wrong.
When I play in Colorado, and it's
his game is hilarious. So people don't know. Here, Escape from Tarkov. There's a huge map. It's as big as like 20 Call of Duty maps. And you have to make your way to a couple different spots to get out with your stuff. Cool. So what Exfil Camper does is he controls the exit that he expects people to go to, and then just does nothing for a long time. And eventually,
doing a lot of stuff. He's doing 40 more than a regular player. He's playing and he's watching YouTube videos. He might be listening to music, talking
so
with
40
friends.
minutes later, after you've collected all your goods and had the time of your life, now you need to get out. And there he is, looking like camping your exit, trying to get you. Yep. And it's a viable strategy. It's not considered super honorable, one might say, but it works.
Sam, do you wear a wedding ring?
Yeah.
I saw a guy on Reddit today that like something caught his wedding ring and it tore the whole finger off. And so they showed a picture of the hand next to the finger.
Degloved his hand.
Worse. Oh, you wish it was a degloving, bitch. They can fix that. It tore his finger off. Like, you ever eat hot wings and you're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to rip the bones off. That's how you get the meat off.
Yeah.
It looks like he did that to his hand. And there's like stringy bits of meat on either side, like on what's left on his hand. And the ring is still on the fucking finger and it's massacred. And it's such destruction. They can't put that back. It ain't going back. I would have to get one of the, I know you don't like do, Taylor lifts heavy weights. Like, I doubt you do that sort of shit or anything dangerous like that. But like, I would have to get one of those like
rubber rings are the way to go.
Is it rubber?
Woodwork.
Yeah, this is rubber. I always wear a rubber ring. I don't actually. No, I do remember where my real wedding ring is. Never mind.
Where is it?
It's in my.
Tell us all.
Yeah. Like, if I were to walk through the front door, where would I find it?
Well, you would. First of all, I'm going to tell you the points you need to be wearing.
All right, I'm in.
First, I'm going to tell you the access points to my house. No, it's near it's on my bedstand inside it. Yeah, but it's just, I don't like
top drawer, bottom drawer.
There's only one drawer on my end table.
Really?
My nightstand? Yeah, it's got one like cut out under area where it's just like open,
Okay,
like
like
a
a
little
nook.
cubby, and I put some stuff in there,
You know,
and
what I
then the
got?
other thing is just a drawer full of nonsense.
So
And lubes.
I got two lubes. Yeah, I've got two drawers, right? But on the top there is a very thin little slat that'll slide out from in it and make a little table that'll like, you know, you could like throw some charcuterie on there maybe, whatever you want to do,
Oh,
and then after you're
That's
done,
not what that's for, but yeah, carry on.
It could be.
look, I know my audience.
Yeah, no, I'm in. Yeah.
Those are like 40-year-old women. Like who the fuck's?
He
No,
loves charcuterie.
I love
Oh,
charcuterie.
you do? Oh, dude,
Oh,
my
I
wife
love
makes the
the
best
meats, the
charcuterie board, man.
cheeses.
Oh hell yeah.
It's great when you want to like feel fancy, like you're eating little bits at a time, but you're really eating huge amounts of food. There's nothing better than charcuterie.
Woody, how many
Sushi, you can
drawers-
kind of do the same thing.
How many drawers do you have in that nightstand, Woody?
In which nightstand?
You know, the one beside your bed where you sleep at night.
One.
Just one? You have a nook?
There's
Like
a
Taylor does?
nightstand, then there's a big space, and then a shelf towards the bottom.
Okay, that's
Okay,
a nook.
we got the same one. Probably not the same one.
Yeah,
But
charcuterie
There's like his shelf is on the bottom and your shelf is on the top.
Mm.
And I got the 2 drawer. Oh, no. You've got a little
I have a
shelf.
top drawer, and then the at the bottom there's a shelf so that the legs don't succumb to racking forces.
Understood. So
how many
Taylor's got-
chairs do you have in your
chairs.
home?
Oh my god, I don't know how many chairs are in this
Like,
house.
I'm just asking questions. I'm
Dude,
just
we have
asking questions.
dozens of
That's a
wooden
great guy.
doors.
A guy who asks retarded questions and then does like the journalist line. Like, how many chairs
Yeah.
are there in your home? I'm asking the questions no one People get offended because you're wasting your time, and it's like, and this is the America we live in, folks. Like where people will lie to you at a MAGA protest about how many chairs they have in
we
their
were
I
we
need
were
to put
talking
those
about
winter coats away.
we were talking about like different levels of wealth a couple days ago. And I
Mhm.
thought today there was a perfect example with Mike Tyson beating the shit out of a passenger on a JetBlue flight.
What
And
happened
somebody-
with that? I
And
don't know the
somebody was
story.
like, "Why is Mike Tyson on a JetBlue flight?" And I'm like, Mike Tyson was broke like 5 years ago. He's all the money he
Mhm.
has came from podcasting and selling weed.
Yeah.
So
bit
like I don't
part
know how
in
much
the
that
hangover.
is. It's a significant amount, but it's not private jet money that you bounce around the country in your private jet kind of money. It's not that money for sure. 5 million, 10 million, 15, still not there. So he was on a JetBlue flight, first class. Someone was like, I didn't even know JetBlue had first class.
I didn't know that
Um,
either.
Yeah,
I've never
apparently they
flown JetBlue.
do. And he's got the window seat. It's being filmed from across the aisle, and this guy's boy or whatever is like leaning over Mike's seat, like being very animated. Not, when I say boy, his friend, it's an adult white man. He's
Okay.
leaning over the seat, being kind of obnoxious, and he won't leave Mike alone. And you can't hear what Mike's saying because Mike's using a normal man voice, you
Mhm.
know, indoors. And this other guy's like being so loud that you can hear everything he says, even though he's facing the other way. I thought I kind of registered that as like an idea of what
What's
the
he
volume was.
saying?
Can
Is
I
it
interrupt
like-
so I understand?
Yeah.
He's sort of standing up, seated behind Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
and like leaning over at the waist, over hovering on top.
He's
of-
like, and Mike's like looking up, being polite, talking to him for a while. At some point, and the video's like a bit chopped up. At some point, things went awry, and Mike comes over his own seat on top of the man, and I think maybe he's got one arm like against the guy's throat or chest or something,
Mhm.
but the other is just throwing these rapid little right hooks, like
Oh
one
wow!
after the
Look at
other.
that guy.
Such a great face that guy does
Yeah.
after he gets his ass
Yeah,
whooped,
dude.
so
Yeah.
I
it's
mean, we're talking
funny.
about levels of wealth. Mike Tyson just beat the shit out of Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon's hair's better than that.
Is it?
I mean, no, he's doing musk mouth for sure.
Is that musk mouth?
That pouty musk mouth. Yeah, he does have
Is
a
that
little
what you
bit
call
of
duck lips when a man does it?
Elon Musk has fucking dick sucking lips.
Elon Musk has had so much plastic surgery that he's looking a little weird now. Like if you
I
look at
don't
a
even
current,
notice
Has he?
that.
I need to
No,
look
he's
at
looking-
before and after. What are you noticing? Is it a cheek thing?
well, the hair but yeah, what I'm seeing is like weird wrinkles in like his cheeks and jaw. I'm looking for a picture that I think shows it.
Well, I mean, he travels very fast. I understand, and I think maybe you're seeing the effects of the inertia on him.
It could
It's a
be.
hyper speed photo of him coming by really
Well,
quick.
the guy's always on the move.
Yeah.
See, right there, moving 150 miles per
Okay,
hour.
you can't say that like the hair surgery wasn't a drastic improvement. I mean, he
Oh,
looks
Oh
younger.
yeah, I'm
Huge
pro hair
improvement.
surgery.
The
You
rest
would
of
really
his
have to be
face-
critiquing him to say that this is a worse look than his younger self.
Oh yeah. I can't tell a difference other than his hair and his
Like,
face.
they-
Honestly, he just
yeah,
looks older. Maybe his nose a little bit.
They
I
made
was-
his nose uglier. They got that straightened out for him. He's like, hey, I got a pretty nice nose. What can you do about that? We can ruin it. Give me one of those. Look
And
at
his
it.
lips
It's so
aren't
much
as pouty as I
thinner, and
remembered.
like the little, I don't know what we call nose lobes, but those are smaller too. The nostrils.
Nose
Yeah.
lobes.
Well, what I mean
You
is like the nostril.
retarded.
I think of the nostril as the hole, right? Just like there's the nipple and the areola, the nose lobe is the areola of
the nipple. Oh, you mean the chest nubs?
Sure,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
chest nubs. Yeah.
What did you
All right.
call it? The nasal.
I don't.
Like,
They're nasal lobes.
The nasal lobes. That's not
what
it's
they're called.
is
That's
it?
there's a picture that shows it pretty well. I think his skin sits on his face in an unnatural, almost Men in Black way sometimes.
Are you suggesting that perhaps there's a smaller being inside of Elon Musk puppeteering? him?
Smaller than Elon Musk.
I mean,
Well, it would, unless he's larger on the inside like a TARDIS, but I'm not going that far.
you know he's had plastic surgery, and you know that his face kind of goes wrong, and when he smiles, the wrinkles are in the wrong spot. He just looks a little unnatural to me. I don't know. This could be my inner hater coming out because he hasn't delivered self-driving cars like he said. That maybe that's the root of all this.
Apparently, he's so ahead of the forecast that they had one of their best days ever. I was just watching.
Sales wise, yeah.
No, like everything, like they're expanding their factory, like everything is. They gave like an earnings report or whatever. I don't have it in front of me, but it was like 5 or 6 things that I guess the investors are looking for. And it's like, oh yes, 60% ahead on this, and then they went through the list. I don't know. The guys on Bloomberg were super psyched on it. I was just half-assed watching it earlier.
I wish he'd start a new cool project. I've totally lost interest in electric cars.
I heard he. Well,
there's robots.
Robots
Robots.
is better. I'm more interested in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
robots is
I'm
cool.
interested in robots that make me do less work.
I want a robot dog that makes me love it.
No.
Make
I want the
diesel
robot
robots.
human, and I want it to be walking like a dog,
I want a Roomba
just on all
that mows
fours.
my yard.
Yeah.
That's what I
and you
want.
could, and Sam, you could
Dress it like
program
a
it to
human.
compliment you.
Mhm.
What, would
Never
you
make
want a
eye
man or
contact. I want that thing to look at the ground at all times.
so you want like a subservient bot person, right?
Just the
Mhm.
most,
Which-
like the worst way you could ever treat a human. I want to treat my robot like that.
To do like household chores and stuff.
Just whatever.
Whatever
Like,
you told it to do.
It might
pretty
just
much.
stand on its back, and I want to crawl on all fours to the mailbox, so I don't have to move really.
Would you go with like? Would you want a man?
You
or
don't
a
even
woman?
have it do things.
Because if you got the male bot, then I feel like he'd be sturdier and he'd be able to do more work, obviously. But if you got the
Mhm.
female,
Yeah, but it's more
then you got a
offensive
better
to be
package.
carried around by a woman
Mm.
robot than it is to be carried around by like a big masculine robot.
What color would you want?
Silver.
I don't care. I don't
No,
really
what
care.
color would you want? Say like
Yeah,
what color would you make it?
Probably, I wanted to look like the iRobot robots, probably. Just the.
Oh, so you'd want a white one. You
Yeah, I
wouldn't-
want a white one.
You wouldn't buy a black one because you don't like that.
How
I
nonsense
don't want
was
to
it?
punch down like that.
think-
If
I
I was
think that'd be
black, I would get a white
Oh,
one.
that they're
for
down.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How stupid did the iRobot, that movie iRobot, how stupid did they think the viewer was that they were like, oh yeah, whenever the robot turns evil, its eyes just go red.
It's
But
eyes
like-
go red. Yeah.
But why? Wouldn't he want to keep his eyes blue so he could blend in with the other million identical robots?
That movie did suck. Did you notice like how many times they try and get you to drink Diet Pepsi throughout that movie?
I haven't seen it.
It
in a
was
minute.
either Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke. It was like there were, like it was so obvious to the point it's like Coca-Cola clearly paid them to have like Coke trucks drive by and like Will Smith sit down and be like, I'm stressed about this robot world. Give me a cold Coca-Cola
You know what got
trademark.
there's two of those that irritate the heck out of me. One is the Will Smith movie where he's the last guy in the world. They're very aggressive zombie
I Am
vampires.
Legend.
Yep.
I Am Legend. I Am Legend and their Ford placements was so obvious. The
Yeah.
opening scene is him tearing around the streets. There's no one chasing him in a Ford Mustang, just being badass.
Just looks like a car commercial.
It did look like a car
So
commercial.
you're absolutely right. They got paid. The reason it's not as like, why would you even do that? Is because if you go back to the movie, so it's been done 3 times, and then there was a book before that, the story of like the last man alive. But the cool one, Charlton Heston, is called like Omega Man.
Yeah.
And there's a part right at the beginning. I think he's a Camaro or a Corvette, though. You know, a GM product. And he's tooling around, like being a badass. And then, like, out of nowhere, he pops up with a machine gun and, like, just kills a bunch of zombies. And that's how you're introduced to the fact that, like, Charlton Heston is in a post-apocalyptic world cruising around in a Corvette. And as soon as he sees these guys, he's got a machine gun ready. It was fun. It's a fun little movie. Will Smith made it so goddamn sad with his hallucinations and his dead fucking dog. Cry me up. Jesus Christ. Dude.
There's another one. Walking Dead. You guys know I watch The Walking Dead. I've seen it more than once, every episode, etc. It takes place in 2010. Probably everyone knows that. These 2011 Hyundais are all over the place. And every car is like a shitty 1986 Chrysler K car covered in mud and dirt, except for these brand new, shiny, clearly daily washed Hyundai 2011 cars.
Son, go get the Sonata.
like
You like start getting in the truck and it's like, we got to get out of here. Boy, get the Sonata.
look at that. Every car is a wreck. They're unattractive, except for the beautiful Hyundai.
Yeah, that thing, it's got the corner angle and everything.
If we're gonna make it out of this, Coral, we're gonna need a Hyundai Tucson. In olive drab.
So yeah, they drive
Dad,
around.
it's seafoam.
Look
They
at
won't
that.
make it, they know
The other
that.
car's got damage on the hood. The other one is ugly and square. And then
Coral, notice how the highway ride is so smooth. I can hear the zombies coming up. It's such a silent cab ride. I can hear the zombies in the forest. I forgot what Rick's
fuel
voice sounds
economy.
like in the
Because
show.
of the fuel
I
economy.
haven't
of this
watched it
Hyundai.
in many years. I don't remember what he sounds like.
That's like
But
a
it's-
Texas oil man, and he's supposed to be like a Georgia boy.
He's kind of sounding more Looney Toony than they actually was.
Yeah.
I say, we need to get rid of these.
I said, look at me, boy. Look at me. Yeah.
That is so funny. A Hyundai
Foghorn.
Tucson. When I worked at Enterprise, I drove those all the time. Those things fucking suck. They suck.
they're not
I
what
said
you choose in a zombie apocalypse.
No, I said the highway drive noise
Oh, that's a
because
cool one.
it sounds like there's a midget in your back seat with cymbals when you're going over 60 in this thing. It's terrible.
Yeah,
But yeah, they had
It's
XM radio, so that was the good part.
Yep.
that's not good. My truck came with XM radio, and I opted to not like it. You know, like I don't know. I just don't like XM radio. I really just want to listen to my phone, audiobooks or Spotify. That's what I actually use. So anytime my phone's not plugged in, it like reminds me what a cheap bastard I am not to have XM radio on the built-in radio. And it's like, hey, if you want to listen to this, you're going to have to cough up some money is the only station my radio wants to play.
Yeah.
And you'd think I'd change it to FM or something from when the time is not. It goes back. It always fine. And there's like 5 channels. Your phone, FM, AM, and then like XM radio, XM radio, XM radio. So most of the time it would land on it anyway. Most of the channels are XM radio. It blows. XM radio built in your car is not a feature like you think it is the day you bought it and for the first 6 months. It's actually like advertising built into your car that you wish you didn't have.
I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
there's a
you're
way to
right.
disable that shit.
That's like the most Captain Hindsight shit I've ever heard. Like, duh, nobody listens to XM radio or the radio at all. Like,
Yeah.
you got
yes.
you got Spotify, you got Bluetooth now. Like,
Yes, XM radio sucks. It's a negative. If I bought a TV that played its own ads, that would be parallel to my car.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that's also like
XM
me,
sucks.
like saying now, like, guys, Laserdisc. Hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you guys. Laserdisc ain't the future. All right,
It wasn't
all
obvious
about
to me.
digital media.
This is like 2018, and I hadn't bought a new car for 15 or 16 years.
They were still
This-
putting in cars in 2018. Like, is
Yeah.
it
Oh, yeah.
is
I
it
think
they
they
still
still are
is.
now. Dude, their whole business model is like sticking it in cars and 6 months free, try to get you addicted. That's the way.
Oh,
this
it's like
radio-
McAfee with like it's just
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Norton like preloaded on a computer, and you're like, get
Exactly.
it out of here. Like,
yeah. Like coming with
because so
a
few- yeah.
McAfee is not a good thing in your computer, and coming with XM radio is not a good thing in your car.
Oh,
Like
by the way,
some of the oh, go ahead.
McAfee was on my podcast, on your podcast.
Yes, He's dead now, right? So
That
he won't
fucker
be
died,
appearing
yeah,
on any
killed
more
himself.
podcasts. Yeah, we
Yeah.
strike while the iron's hot, right? That's
Yeah.
why we're gonna get Warren Buffett soon.
Poor guy.
Oh, really?
I don't know much about McAfee other than he was a lunatic, but he was an entertaining lunatic.
The best kind.
Yeah.
And I
he's
thought,
pretty
wasn't
cool.
he supposed to have a kill switch with a bunch of stuff on it, and then nothing ever came of that?
Yeah,
Where he
was
like
Right.
bluffed.
he just
Yeah.
made up a bunch of shit, hoping that like if he killed himself, it would his ego would get
yeah.
like juiced up a little bit. You
He
know?
was supposed to have like, I don't know, papers on a boat sailing around the world ready to dock and expose whatever if they that didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't
No.
blame him. I mean, when I'm gonna kill myself, like, of course, a year I'll plan it or whatever. But
Yeah,
like a
of
year
course.
beforehand, I'm gonna start making up lies about having a kill switch and like, oh, if I die, no, it wasn't me. And,
Kill
I'll
switch.
make up, yeah, I'll like have all sorts of shit I'll make up, and then I'll die, and nothing will happen because I'm not smart enough to actually make whatever a kill switch is. But
Yeah,
why not?
that-
Actually, my suicide plan. You want to hear it? It's
I
pretty.
do.
Okay, so the whole plan is like, you ever seen those the things where like Evil Knievel where he jumps the Grand Canyon?
Yes.
I would set up a whole live TV event where it'd be like, "Look, watch me jump the Grand Canyon." And so you expect me to come out in like a big, like fast car or something, like a jet car. I'd just come out in a riding lawnmower with like a little flag on it. And you would watch me live on TV, just go up the ramp and then teeter off the ramp and fall down into the canyon.
That'd be great. You could do it in yellow
love
face
it.
in a fat suit like Homer on a skateboard. You can do it like
After I
that.
slam into the ground, I
We're
die
gonna
and
make it.
everything.
We're gonna make it.
I want the pyrotechnics to go off at the landing spot as if I actually made it. Like, I want to be timed and everything. Balloons lit off into the air, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god, he just died!" Like there was no chance to even make it 4 feet.
And like your wife has to get the news from your attorney. He spent all of your money on the 30,000 doves that were released as he was killed. He caused not only that, you owe money for the ecological damage of
Yeah.
releasing 30,000 doves into that area. Yeah, that's a good way
Yeah.
to do it, man.
For sure. Yeah, I didn't think about the bankrupting of my family, but they're gonna have to pay for that crime scene cleanup at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. I'm sure
The
that'll be cheap.
ultimate prank.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna prank my family.
I spent all the money on doves and
Dude,
killed
it's
myself.
getting to the point where they fucking deserve it, man. I was like, when you were talking about Kyle being sick nonstop, I was thinking about it. I was like, this guy's only bitching about this being a weird occurrence because he doesn't have kids. Like, I have 2
Yeah.
kids. They're under 3.
Mm-hmm. They
They're
deserve
constantly
what they
just-
get.
They just come home and then they just into my face. And I'm like, it's constant. And like, I
Yeah.
got the blood test or whatever to see if I had antibodies for COVID. And they're like, oh my God, you had it. Do you know when you had it? When were you sick? I was like, it's all I've been. I've just been sick for like a year. Like, it's constant. I was like, do I have HIV? Like, why is my immune system so fucking low that I'm just constantly coughing and shit? I spent Christmas just wrapped around the toilet. I was like, oh, I'm finally feeling better because I'm not coughing. And then I just started puking and shitting everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's my kids. They get it for like a second and then they pass it on to me. And my immune system hasn't had a chance to bounce back. I don't have a 3-year-old's immune system. She's frolicking around going like, Dad, why are you puking everywhere?
Well, it's because when Dad
you.
was napping last night, you
You.
spit in my mouth.
Yeah, you got COVID, and you've been coughing all over my face and shit. I had the one time I've had a friend, like a little collaborator, someone else that does YouTube stuff. I flew him out to my house. I set up my basement to have a nice little bedroom for him and everything. And this guy, I was like, God, I hope I don't get him sick. But he's like, don't worry, man. He's shredded. He's got like a 6-pack. He's fucking super jacked and everything. He's like, I'm perfectly healthy. There's no, even if I get sick, I'll be fine. He was here fucking 18 hours or something. And he all of a sudden was just like, oh my God. And he pinpointed it to my daughter. Like, we were eating spaghetti and we had like a baguette and we were putting butter on it and stuff. And she goes, my daughter looks at him and goes, Mr. Bizzle, you don't have any bread. And she hands him like a piece of baguette. And he's like, I looked at her hand and it was just covered. It was spaghetti sauce up her fucking arm, on her forehead, all over the bread. And her mouth just had like boogers and shit. And he's just like, he's like, thank you. You can't not accept food from a 3-year-old.
Right.
And then she sat there and just waited for him to eat it. Like, go on. I was like, why didn't you just do the fucking thing? No, he ate
Like when
it.
they give you plastic food.
Yeah, he ate that shit, and like, the next day, dude. All the
It's
we were
brutal.
like, we were in the middle of recording something, and you can see the footage. Like he's like smiling and stuff, and all of a sudden, his face gets super serious. Less than a minute later, he marches into the bathroom and starts projectile vomiting.
Oh my.
When I vomit, it just falls out of me because I have no core strength. I have no abs. This guy's abs, it looked like a Chinese finger trap. Like you can see all the side abs like going, squeezing his stomach like a whoopee cushion, and the vomit came out like a pressure washer. I was afraid he was going to shatter my toilet bowl with how much force it was coming out.
Impressive.
And he pukes and then looks at me and like, I could see the regret from him just flying over. Like, he was just like, I'm fine. Like, don't worry. Because I was like, I am really sorry. Like, right off the bat, I'm so sorry.
Dude, it is so fucking true because like I have so many friends now that have young kids about those ages, and none of them have autoimmune problems. None of them have been historically sick, and every other weekend now they are grievously ill because of their kids.
Every weekend,
Like,
yeah.
especially since they went back to preschool. Like there's been a wave I've seen where it's like, oh, we've had this we were at a barbecue planned for a month, and it's like, no, they went back to preschool 2 weeks ago.
How is that
Susie's
surprising?
dead.
That's like, yeah, I don't know. My family just started casting the fishing line in the lake every day, and seems like we catch a few fish every week. It's wild. It's like, yeah, you send those little fuckers out in the world to touch everything and lick everything, and then you're like, hey, come back home. Let's see what you got.
Social space. Like I'll just watch
Yeah.
my daughter just walk up and like finger another kid's mouth. It's like, what? Like you don't do that shit. Like of course they mingle in ways that other, like you just grow out of that shit. Even by 4 years old, you're like finger fucking another person that you don't know is not like in their
Yeah.
mouth. It's
That's
not
wrong.
normal. But apparently like 3 years old and younger, and they just do wild shit.
Oh yeah, I had never had someone cough directly on my plate before until I had a couple friends over and they brought their 3-year-old, and I was like, hey, what's up? He wanted to talk to me or everything, and I was we were having dinner, and he'd already eaten his little chicken nuggets or whatever, and I have my plate of food. We'd grilled something, and he walked over just to see what we had, and it was stuff on skewers, and he's like, why is there a stick on why is there a stick on your on your plate? And like I was like, and I like look at the parents, and they're like, you have to cover your mouth when you talk. And he's like, but I don't want to know why the why the stick is on your plate. And I was like, that's disgusting. And I continued to eat a little bit of it. I didn't get sick, but it was like I didn't want to look like I didn't grill enough to just throw away 2 steak skewers.
You
with all
try being that brave at
onions and
my
everything.
house, at my barbecue, you'll be fucking puking and shitting by the next day. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm not
you
gonna roll the
lucker
dice
dogged
again.
out there and not getting sick.
That was a healthy kid.
Yeah, that was an
Yeah, must have
unusually
been.
healthy kid. Yeah.
He was he was talking to me too, and like kids, like they start forming memories at a weird time. My 2 little dogs are afraid of him because when he was like 1 and started to learn how to walk, he would go over and like act like he was gonna pet him, and then like give him the old Three
Oh my
Stooges
God.
like in the eyes, or he would like kick at them, and he'd like, hey, don't do that. And he was like walking towards the dogs, like recently, just a week or 2 ago, and the dogs are running away, and he's like, why are Fozzie and Teddy afraid of me? And I was like, well, because you won't believe this, but
You're an
a
asshole.
couple years ago, there was a kid that came around and he kicked the dogs. And so he's afraid of kids. And he was like, that's awful. I would never do that. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to like, and so clearly he
And
just
then you
like,
show him the
wasn't
video and he
making
starts
memories.
crying.
I show him the video. Do you deny that this is you? Like, to a 3-year-old. But yeah,
they
it's,
can't handle that. They don't
it's
have the
funny.
faculties.
so your oldest is 3, Sam?
Yeah, I was just saying, you just mentioned like your earliest memories, and I'm thinking like, when do I have to shape up as a parent? Like, at what age do they actually start cataloging stuff? You know,
4 for
Seems like
sure.
3 or 4.
4 for
3
sure.
or 4.
Yeah, I
You can
remember.
get away with murder.
I
at
remember
1,
like
too.
a lot of like 3 or 4. I remember a lot of that. I remember a lot of the like main, like how memory works, but it's like those
Mhm.
big events that happened, like injuries and like scary times and like fun times, things like that. You like store
I
away.
remember maybe a birthday party. Not too much. I think you can still have sex in front of 4-year-olds.
I remember
Probably not.
I guess
I'm
you
gonna go
At
ahead
his
and-
house.
you could. They're not going to stop you. Like you.
Yeah. Like,
His big career of laying down advice to people: don't fuck in front of a 4-year-old. That's not a. That'll be a memory.
This is
Now
the way
we-
you establish.
we've changed it up.
dominance
Now
in
we
your
get bad
home.
advice.
Okay. He's done a He's done a villain arc now. Now we do bad advice. Fuck in front of your kid, whatever the age. I don't care.
Yeah,
you
at 4 they
didn't
don't remember.
cover
At 17 they learn.
You didn't cover your mouth when you coughed. Now you got to watch me fuck your mom.
Punishment
yeah, I
fits
play
the
for-
crime.
I'm the kind of dad who plays for keeps. He needs to know that I run that household.
Oh
That
man.
probably would create a serial killer.
Those muscle like poundy things that you guys recommended. I went and bought one of them. I got the ant. Well, I say what it's got like like for like putting on your like I don't know anything, your legs or your arms or whatever. It's like curved, and because the expensive ones are $300 to $600.
Mhm.
And I think you
retarded.
both said you got something off Amazon maybe in the like $50 to $100 range or something.
Mine was like 60
What is
bucks.
it for? Like, what is that?
I got one at 120, wore it out, got one at 300. That's my arc.
Bored out. What the fuck is this
So
thing?
all right,
It's
so
a masturbatory toy.
So this is a massager that you actually use to massage like sore muscles and stuff. It's got the LEDs on the back. This is the Amazon special, by the way. This was $60 on sale, but like it's hard to. It moves so fast you can't see
It
it.
doesn't look
Maybe
like
put
it
it on
feel
your-
good. What the hell?
Oh, it
Put it
feels
on your-
great.
Put it on your cheek so we can see the movement.
It looks like it would knock out his teeth.
It really
I
hurt.
think it would. I think
It
it would.
really. Oh, it would
Yeah.
probably knock some teeth out. Yeah,
My-
yeah.
We
It's
use
moving at the
ours
speed
to
of light.
tenderize chicken sometimes.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
think-
idea.
Is this like a? Don't do that.
Push harder on it.
Do something cool, Kyle. Do something cool.
This is pressure on me. I think it's gonna spill coffee and glass in my lap. That'd be fun.
Squeeze the glass while you do it. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
no,
like
it's
mine.
really cool,
I
though.
used I
don't.
I used it like 2 or 3 different times after leg days because I'm like, this is gonna revolutionize how sore my quads are.
Mhm.
No, not at all. Maybe I wasn't doing it long enough, but I can't imagine not doing it right. You just
It felt
turn it
good.
on and put it on your quads, but I don't think it was doing anything. So I think I'm gonna sell mine. Still
I
works.
put it on
for
the
me.
maximum level and like really like grind away in my legs, and it's like excruciating. But after it felt better.
Yeah.
I just have one of those foam wheels that I roll my gamer back over, and it.
Foam
I'm not
roller. I
convinced
hate
any
those.
of
Straighten
these
you out.
things work. It confuses me. So hear me out. If what muscle soreness is lots of small micro tears in the muscle, why would beating the fuck out of it actually make it better? Now I do it. I like it. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. Like oh, this hurts. I'll just make it hurt so much that we get all the pain out. Like I don't know how that makes sense. but
So I think it's a
Go
couple
ahead.
things.
Blood to it.
Yeah, it's bringing blood in there, so it's flushing out all that dead material and speeding up the healing, which is process. But also, I think that man, I've been smoking this thing too much, huh?
He's he's doped out of his gourd. Is he muted? Did I mute?
he's muted.
Okay.
He might be
He's muted
figuring out his
again.
mic. All right.
Gone!
We'll never know how that story ends. That's
Yeah, that
that's-
was ramping up to be a good one. God.
yeah. Kyle's
I have
leaving
no
the
idea what he was
podcast now.
Yeah, Taylor's gone. It's just me and you.
I think he was going to
Yeah.
explain how muscle massages work,
Yeah.
and I bet. How backed by science do you think it'll be?
What, muscle massaging?
Yeah,
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
yeah.
What, like his opinion on it?
It just like I don't know. Like I don't think it's lactic acid. I think it's little tears in muscle, and I don't see why beating your muscle would make it better. Muscle. They say blood flow, but
It makes my chicken cutlets better.
it does make my chicken cut. Yeah,
it
yeah.
makes that shit better. Now, if you're talking about whether or not beating that shit makes it taste more good in food, then that's up my alley. But I don't know about. I didn't know
Yeah.
there was not only a man that owns a muscle massager, but fucking the 3 of you have like a weird little massager cult. What the fuck?
You know,
What the
I was
hell's
with
wrong
you until
Why
you
do you
called
guys
us
have
weird.
those things?
I wore one out. So Zach wrote, Muscle massage will help your muscles heal. Rubbing the muscles and using pressure facilitates circulation by breaking up congested areas and then allowing a flush of blood with the release of pressure.
Oh.
This increase of blood flow to muscle tissue feeds your cells both oxygen and nutrients. This is all premised on the idea that my muscles aren't getting blood, and I'm not sure that's true.
It gets more blood.
Yeah, it gets more blood. Yeah.
Okay.
But you were about to have some sort of riveting conclusion to that, Kyle, and then you like.
Well, then like as my mic was fucking up, I could hear Woody's anti-lactic acid propaganda, and I just didn't even want to justify that kind of talk with any further retort or response.
Oh, okay. So you had your whole arc of first roaring anger as you were reconnecting. And you were like, he's not even fucking worth it because he's too old and set in his ways. He's not going to believe it. New information doesn't even.
He won't even remember it
bounces
next
right
week.
off of him.
Yeah. Next week we'll have the same
He
conversation
doesn't know what the
again.
hell's going on. Look at him. He's like, Eisenhower's still president. He doesn't fucking.
A lot of back in my day.
Back in my day, when I started watching you, you were already retired. All right. That was in, like, 2010.
Yeah, I gave working a good try. It wasn't for me.
Oh, I forgot to mention this shit. So I was like, no offense,
You're right back
watched you
for it.
guys, started making my own videos. When you make them, last thing you want to do is fucking watch them, right?
Sure,
so
sure.
yeah. And then I was like, hey, I found out you guys had the PKA thing. I didn't even know it existed. I found out about it. And this was a couple years ago now. And I was like, what's Woody up to? I went to go look at your channel. This dude's a fucking grown ass man with kids, a wife that loves him and everything.
I know what's
His
coming.
recreational activity is putting himself on a fucking lawn chair with a box fan and flying around in the sky and shit. He's like, let's fuck it. I'm going to kill myself. I don't give a fuck. Like, you're supposed to take those hobbies. Like, Kyle can do that shit. You
Dude.
get like a family,
No one cares
dude.
if I die.
Yeah, no one
Doesn't
gives
matter.
a shit if you die. People are waiting for you to die. You got like a podcast revenue share. They're waiting to split up. They're going to poison you one day.
You'll be in here the moment I'm dead.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'll take a spot. See? Now I hope you die. I don't even know
See?
you really. And I want you dead like in 2 seconds. But like, Woody, you got dependents and stuff. You can't be zipping around and shit. Like the old man and up.
What you're saying makes sense, but the truth is I can do all those things.
You can do all sorts of things. You
Yeah.
can rob a bank.
Your rules will apply when someone else in this house can beat me up, which is not happening until Colin turns 21.
Is this what
you know what
really
it is?
happened
Is
to
you've
Jack?
realized the kids are old enough they can get by without me, and the wife's young enough she can remarry. Doesn't matter. I'm at that perfect age.
That's it. Yeah,
Where
she's got
it's-
a nice little package put together with my money.
Yeah.
she'll have no trouble finding a suitor. So that's the plan, I guess. Yeah, no, I was looking for a video. Dude, my YouTube channel is constantly like asking me to verify with my phone and stuff now. It seems to happen twice a week. Is that everybody? Just me?
I've got a few things that do that, but I don't
In
think
any
that's one
case,
of them.
I wanted to show you a video of like what I'm doing this weekend. I am an acrobatic paragliding pilot, and I flip upside down and do all sorts of risky shit. And we're doing it this weekend, this year for the first time. I'm so jazzed.
Are you ready?
Well,
Have
it
you
was
been like
nice
learning?
meeting you?
And nice knowing you.
Yeah.
Have you been learning like new tricks? Is there something you're gonna like show the boys for the first time when you get there? Like now I'm doing the inverted ass fuck.
It's almost the opposite. Like
Oh.
at the end of last season, I learned a new trick that like very few people on Earth can do.
The loop-de-loop.
Yeah, the loop-de-loop. It's called the infinite tumble, and I was very excited. It's like I guess I thought I was at an age where I was done like life accomplishments. Like there would be no more, right? It started off like back in the old days doing like the life saving, like that was a big thing I still hang my hat on. And then there was some like athletic accomplishments in swimming, and then that was, I guess I was proud of my YouTube audience and some money earning and stuff. And then it was like that's it for the rest of my fucking life. Nothing cool will happen until
What
I
about
learn the infinite
Minecraft
tumble.
server?
Yeah,
It's not up there.
I'd mention
Better
making
than
money.
saving a life or two. Yeah, there, baby.
The earnings, like I'm kind of proud of running a successful business. But then I thought it was like done. Like I would never do anything cool for the rest of my life. I would just sit there and talk about the shit I used to do. And I learned the infinite tumble. And like I
can
have like a
fly in
little
lawn chair.
friend.
Look at me.
I have a little friend group. We were all chasing this move, and I think if you would have watched us fly, maybe you wouldn't have
This
guessed. I'd be
way?
the first one. It's like
Yeah.
a somersault.
Head over
A
heels.
somersault?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I am very impressed that you
Call
made
that
this
the widow
accomplishment.
proud
I
of
bet
it.
there aren't many people who can do this. However, like you were competing with your friends so you could do it first. Are they all in a similar situation where they can take off from their backyard and practice anytime they want?
That's not his problem.
Yeah, that does sound like a problem. Rick.
It sounds like a them problem.
Sounds like he's
Yeah,
made
yeah,
up by
I
a
mean-
non-infinite tumbler.
Actually, so this is a move that the way I do it is I learn over water where it's a little safer to fuck up, and then oh wait, that's me. That's the video. How did Zach find it? It's unlisted. Go ahead and play it, Zach. It's a little stuck. I don't know. Maybe he needs a newer computer, but wow, we are really not
How
working.
cold does it get up there?
So this was in November.
Why don't you use a good camera for this?
Yeah.
Don't you love a question like that?
The thing on my face isn't really for cold. It cuts the wind noise across my ears because it's loud as fuck to be dragged along at 40 miles an hour or whatever. But yeah, so this is it. You can see I'm kind of doing like a front somersault over it if you can make out what's going on.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool move. It was a big moment for me. And there it is. Look, I didn't die.
Okay, it's smoothing out.
Yeah, but it's over.
I like that. I like that face wrap you've got. You look like you literally are like $800 worth of equipment away from being a superhero. Like you just
Yeah.
need a little bit of weaponry and armor, and you're there. Like some lightweight stuff, like that. That's what you would tell your like your Alfred or your Q or whoever's like going to design this shit. You'd be gotta be lightweight. Like there'd be a lot of
You,
carbon fiber in there. You'd use a
Master
gruff
Wayne, have you considered using, a plane? No, I want to fly on this ridiculous lawn chair. If I use a plane, they'll know for sure I'm a billionaire. This way, I just kind of look like a lunatic.
I was about to say, aren't you in the South?
I'm in North Carolina.
You're in North Carolina. That's right there. I would watch fuck out, dude. I was about to say if you were flying over my property,
Dude,
I would be like, what? Like,
this is a couple years ago.
Yeah,
There's one
Russians.
property that to me is like a maze. Like you can zip around and it's not hard to navigate, but there are, I don't know, I call it 100 feet wide, filled with trees that are like 100 feet tall. And you can zoom around and there's turns and stuff to make. So you're like banking sideways, turning, and it's a blast to me. A little dangerous, but it's a really good time. And I'm zipping around a couple feet off the ground between these trees, doing like following the path. And there are two turkey hunters there. And I can tell I have accidentally fucked up their day. Like, I don't think there's any turkeys joining me in my flying escapades. And these two guys with their guns are looking at me murderously. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. And I left. But
Do you know what you should get for your rig? Is
What?
some kind of horn.
You should be able to communicate with people on the ground.
Yeah.
And it should have a
Coming
voice
in.
a megaphone would be awesome. That would be really cool.
fun.
Yeah, just point
Alert
it, like,
hunters.
straight down off your chair.
off your chair.
You can sit there and do this. Yeah, that'd be dope.
You could do
good
some
idea.
you could do some like maybe there's some bad weather coming in. Hit the skies, right? Let the neighborhood know.
Yeah,
Neighborhood know. Tornado warning. Let them know when you're up there.
severe thunderstorm warning. I'm now
I'm in it.
300 feet above the nearest object, sitting right by a metal. Actually, I guess you wouldn't get shocked. You aren't grounded, are you? No, lightning hits airplanes and shit all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know how
Don't know
lightning
how that works.
I don't think anyone's ever hit a or
I don't think
lightning's
anyone
ever hit a
understands lightning.
paramotor.
It's one of God's wonders.
One of nature's
It seems
mysteries.
like such a small thing. It's only like-
Nature's mystery.
One of nature's mysteries. What is thunder? The long-standing wisdom has been it's God clapping. And science only proves this point further. Dude, those are the kind of videos I had to like watch in Sunday school where they'd be like, that's just some like badly acted trio like in front of and they would do like live action stuff. I know Kyle had to go to Sunday school and stuff like that, but I remember at least one evolution thing where like, I'm 7. I don't have a dog in this fight and I don't care. But they're like, dinosaurs? What a fable. And I'm like, immediately you've lost me.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna tell a 5-year-old dinosaurs are fake and expect me to pay any attention?
You had seen
at
Jurassic Park.
I'd already seen it. Those dumb bitches. I knew dinosaurs were real, and I knew that those fucking scientists who said they might have feathers, I knew they were wrong too. And look who ended up on top.
I want to run a
They-
Democrat church.
Steven
Just be
Spielberg.
like Adam and Eve ate the apple. That's how we learned about cancel culture. Next is Tucker Carlson.
Where
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Adam and Adam. Yeah.
You guys see that video of Bill O'Reilly like yelling at the airport person?
No,
It's
I can believe
recent?
it.
What happened?
Yeah, he's just. By the way, that dude aged. Like he got off TV and he was just like, "I'm turning into an old man now." Like he just looks old as shit. And it's one of those situations
big.
where the person's like, "Hey, your plane's not going to be on time or whatever. It's like canceled. Your flight's canceled." And he's like, "You're personally responsible for this." He's like, "You're going to get fired, bitch. I'm Bill O'Reilly." Like he basically said that where he name dropped himself and then said that they were going to get fired and then like teetered away. Like I've never seen like he's just so old looking.
What if they're like, "You're not Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly looks like Gene Hackman, like virile and
Yeah.
strong."
Bill O'Reilly's not an old fucking man that's like doing that weird bent back thing that old guys do. And
He's a way. I'm watching the video. He's a way
What's that?
bigger guy than I thought he was.
Is he like 6'4"? He's a
Yeah,
big
He must
guy.
be. He's towering over everyone else in the video.
Have you seen the new Tucker Carlson special?
I don't.
I
watch
haven't
Tucker
seen a single one ever.
ever.
So
I don't
he's-
watch the news.
the news. So like Tucker Carlson has, of course, the regular show where he does his monologues and stuff, but he has another, like, I think it might be internet based, where he does these longer, like, series types things. And if I understand the premise, I've only read about it and watched videos about it. I haven't seen it directly, but I'm curious. He's saying that in men, testosterone or sperm counts are going down, and it's changing the way our culture works to allow LGBTQT women to be the dominant cultural movement, and these beta guys are like just being roughed up by them, getting cucked, and that's why the nation is moving to the left and Democrats are the way they are. Like, it's basically the premise of it.
And that
And-
seemed unrealistic.
that seems like something that only a guy that has everything in
delicious.
his
Made some
life
eggs.
paid for
It's bacon.
would even fucking care about.
I was stuck on this idea of
he
Tucker
has,
Carlson
like,
calling
4
everyone a
houses now. Like, what else are you gonna be pissed off about? He's gonna be like, dudes aren't as strong or whatever. Women are doing more things now. Like, who
how's
fucking
Tucker gonna
cares?
call everyone a beta cuck? Tucker, like, think of every anchor man in like in the news, right? Chris
Yeah.
Cuomo kicks Tucker's ass. A
This
prime
guy-
Chris Wallace kicks his ass. Jake Tapper kicks his ass. Sean Hannity, I'm looking for. He kicks Tucker Carlson's ass. A prime Bill, you're on mute, Taylor. A prime Bill O'Reilly. Is there anyone more beta than Tucker Carlson?
So let me get this straight.
He could take
Now,
Rachel Maddow.
Touche.
Do,
Yeah.
do you have to be tough to tell the news though?
You have to be tough to call everyone else a beta cuck, low T idiot.
I think it
if
does
that's
help
how
to be
you
a
took
bitch if
it,
you're a
you
news
missed
person.
the point. He's talking about like
You
like
haven't
our-
seen. You've
our
never even
culture,
heard
right?
of this.
Well, I'm just going on the way you described it. If anyone's
Mhm.
at fault, it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Name
guess
one
that's
bad thing Tucker's done ever.
One.
it. You got me.
Name one
One.
bit of
He was trying to keep us
misinformation
out of
ever.
Ukraine.
You can't.
He
I-
cle- he's on Russia's side,
I don't know.
and I don't say that like my interpretation. He's like, they're telling me I can't be on Russia's side, which I am.
I,
Yeah,
I
so-
think
so
that
it
a
seems
lot of
like
people agree with what Tucker's saying there, to a point. Like him mixing the LGBT thing or whatever in there is like his own like spin on
Mhm.
something that's like a widely held little cultural belief by a lot of like sociologists and I don't know, internet scientists.
I know that like his like point about gay people, whatever. I don't understand that, but I know that like scientists have been tracking testosterone for a while. It is going down, like
Yeah.
because of like environmental causes. They think that like the use of some plastics and stuff that can get into you because like that's why there's like a big thing of like BPA free now with plastics because like it used to be they didn't use those for shaker bottles and then they're like, oh fuck, we did a bunch of research and it looks like this has something in it that's leaching out into your drink. And so I could totally see, like, think of how much the world has changed since the Industrial Revolution. Like, we're dealing with stuff in our environment that no other large human populations ever have before. So it seems like it'd be hard to narrow down.
I
Do
don't
you think
argue.
testosterone kind of like, like masculine? How am I trying to phrase this here? Do you think like I don't hunt for my fucking food. I go to the grocery store and go like, I want the food, and I get it for me. But like back in the day, my grandpa, he went out and he was like, hey, it's the Great Depression. I found me a possum. I'm going to put this thing in a fucking cage, name it, feed it a bunch of sweet potatoes till it doesn't taste like garbage anymore. And then I'm going to twist its fucking head off and like doing like weird masculine shit like that. Or like going and like my uncle used to just go hunt boar and he would shoot it and then it would be on the ground. He'd go over there and fucking knife it in the throat 37 times to make sure it's dead. I'm like, I would have like PTSD if I did one of those things. Like I can't even like.
I've done all those things. They're fun. All right. I think testosterone levels probably have dropped.
No, I'm saying like, do you think doing that thing, do you think that's like that, like, it makes a more masculine person?
That it increases your testosterone?
Yeah. Do you think like doing things like that?
Oh,
Like, my body
I think that
probably knows it has no need for testosterone because I haven't done anything manly.
I
know a
know
dog
that
off last week from my
Oh.
property.
that's strong. So
Yeah,
I know
just
that
went,
doing squat,
"Ah!" and it like ran. I got testosterone. My man boobs disappeared immediately. I felt stronger, more.
Came back the next morning.
Yeah.
there's a bunch of environmental things like that can increase testosterone. I know that like doing squats like raises your testosterone, just like that physical activity of doing them does.
Yeah, heavy
So
lifting does.
I'm sure there's lots of things like that. Yeah. that's
Oh.
what
So
heavy
I
lifting.
tried to
Heavy
find
lifting?
a better source for why testosterone has dropped than the other things. And it appears that, this is according to Urology Times, which I assume to be subject matter experts and not political, it is a population in America has aged compared to where it was before. We have more old people than we used to. And the body fat has gone up, which also lowers
That makes sense.
testosterone.
Oh.
So fatter people and older people have lower T. They're not pointing to plastics at Urology Times, but maybe
Isn't
Tucker
there also,
Carlson knows
like-
better.
I have no idea. I just
No, I've heard the plastic
thing
things
is
too.
something I've heard, but yeah, the fat thing is probably the most salient. Like,
And age.
yeah, like carrying that much adipose tissue like does fuck up your encrine system.
People living
that for a
longer,
long time.
right? Like maybe, I'm sure, I don't know to what extent, but if everyone used to die at 70 and now they die at 80, then there's that whole chunk of population bringing down the averages that didn't exist.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But you would think that like it would balance out somewhere. I don't know. Like yeah, I guess
So
not.
you think
no, you're
getting
right.
more
you're right.
masculine
Yeah,
now?
Of course not. Of course not.
And the
I was-
boomers are such a big generation, I guess that makes sense. They're kind of like top heavy.
I'd like to see Fox News take that approach. Average T levels are dropping because of you fucking boomers, and the whole audience is like, "What? You hurt my feelings."
Yeah. they're not gonna-
Like,
that's not gonna
What's
happen.
it, Tucker has to go on and be like, in American news, you're all too fat. And then immediately, like, show canceled. It's like you went against the golden goose, fat old people.
Yeah.
Have you noticed who advertises on every news network? It's dick pills and fucking heart medication. Those are the people who buy products, who still watch the news.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Your little producer here, guy hanging out behind the scenes, is
Okay.
dropping information. He says the average 20 to 34-year-old man could apply 98 pounds of force with a right-handed grip, down from 117 pounds by a man of the same age in 1985. Yeah, like we ain't working in factories no more, dude. We got computers and things. Like, of course, our hand grip strength isn't gonna be
I'm with
like
you
what
too.
it was back then. Like every dude like went off to go work at the factory when he was in
bet-
like 7th grade.
All right, so the guy
know?
from 1985 could
In the
squeeze 100.
80s?
If the guy from 85 could squeeze 115 or whatever, what could the guy from 1950 squeeze? I bet it was 130 or something. And go
Yeah.
back 30 more. The
Oh,
farther you
I'm
go
sorry. I
back,
mixed
they're
up
just
the
getting
previous
stronger and
message with this
stronger.
one. Yeah, okay. I'm
Back
sorry.
when
yeah.
everyone was a blacksmith or a wagon wheel maker, that number's 300.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
my
how much
uncle
could a
was
Neanderthal
blacksmith
do?
as like his like hobby?
A lot.
Dude's fucking hands look like catcher's mitts.
Yeah.
Like, it used to scare me when I was a kid. Like he would, if like if the adults like, hey, come here, and then you go like, oh no, I'm in trouble, and so you go to run. You'd go to run and you'd feel that fucking hand grab your shoulder, and it was like a gargoyle, like in his fucking hands. He had calluses around his fingernails and shit. Yeah, blacksmiths don't.
That's a
fuck
cool
around. They got-
hobby. Did he make anything for you?
Yeah,
Like
I
a
got-
little dagger or a knife or anything?
I got a shield right here.
Get
Maybe a
out.
kite shield.
Oh,
That was
that's
when
cool.
I was
Oh,
really
that's
into.
awesome.
I used to play Diablo 2 all the time. I was like, I want a shield like the paladin, and he's like, what did it look like? I was like, I don't know. And so he was like, okay, I'll make you that.
That's pretty cool.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got it taken away from me for a while because I hit my brother with the fucking sharp corner end on it, and then I wasn't able to have my awesome shield for like a year and a half.
Are you older than your brother?
No, he's older than me. By
Oh, how
5
much
years.
older is he? 5 years.
He's 5.
years,
Yeah,
okay.
5 years. Yeah.
So you must have
I-
snuck up behind him to get a good strike like that, right?
No, I always beat him up in fights.
At
Damn.
5 years younger, that's unbelievable.
Is he? Can he walk?
Well, he's one of those people where like
is he?
Yeah,
is
is
he
he
physically
ambulatory?
retarded?
no, he's bigger than me too. He's just a big guy. He's just one of the. He just doesn't have the. Some people just don't have like a fighter spirit. You know, like they. You know what I mean? Like some
He
people.
doesn't
like,
have
Not
your
like us.
yeah, he doesn't have your killer instinct, General Sam.
No, I don't have like I'm not even like a fight guy, but I just have more than him. Like I would get rolled by basically the average woman, like let alone man. Like most people would roll me, but he's so far down the hole from me that like
How big is
would,
he?
He's pretty big. I mean,
Like 6'3"?
No, he's not that tall. He's just like barrel chested. He's a big dude.
He's a blacksmith.
No, that was my uncle. That was the blacksmith. My
Oh.
brother. Yeah, this is my brother. That no, my brother kind of just looks like a fucking. He's like a biker dude. He's just big fucking beard and everything, covered in tattoos. Doesn't look anything like me.
Sounds like you were a
I'd go
scrapper.
to hit him, and then he would. He's 5 years older. Of course, I'm a scrapper. I'm gonna go for the fucking throat. I mean, yeah, it's. Yeah, and
not-
I would also. I was kind of not to, tug my own horn or anything, but I was kind of like. You ever seen those movies, Sherlock Holmes?
Tug
like-
your own horn
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
so much dirtier than toot your own horn.
That's a great one. I like that. I've never.
You ever seen Sherlock Holmes where he would like break down the scene of a fight before it happened?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I had like a really retarded version of that where like I knew a conflict was coming and I would just like scan really quick for like the nearest thing to use as a weapon. And he was very much like, I'm going to just have a fight because this is my brother. And, and I've like, we had this family cruise that we were going on and we got into a fight over something. I forget what. And I took a birdhouse, like a decorative birdhouse, and I fucking just right into his face. And I got the corner of it like right in the forehead, and it shattered everywhere. And I got in big trouble and everything. But then we went on the cruise, and like as you're going up the entrance ramp, they take a picture of the family and everything. And we got this great photo of my brother. He has like an egg on his forehead that then has a bloody hole right in the fucking middle. It looked like a jelly donut hole, you know? It had like a little bit of blood on it for me hitting him with that thing. But yeah, so like my brother's just kind of an overall pussy is what I'm saying. And if you're
catching
watching,
that.
this,
Sounds like it.
fuck.
Sounds like yeah.
What's he gonna do about it?
The guy's
What
got
you
no
do about it?
fighting
Get your
spirit.
ass beat again, bitch.
He's got the shield
I
right
got the
here.
shield back, bitch. Come at me.
Did he ever? Did he bully you when you were littler? Like, did he like when you were too small to fight back? Did he knock you around?
No, he's like you ever seen those mafia guys that come by and they do like protection rackets and they're like, oh, you gotta pay us a little bit of money or else something might happen, and then if you don't pay him, he would do shit like that where he would like act like he's your friend. He's just like, whoa, like Santa brought me like 2 kickballs, and I'm like, Santa obviously brought us a kickball for you and a kickball for me. My mom can't sit there and go like, oh, Santa, like, because then my brother's gonna be like, what, you talked to fucking Santa, you dumb bitch? You didn't talk to him, you were sleeping. Santa brought me 2 kickballs. And so like he would divvy up the fucking Christmas toys and shit. And I got
As
like,
though he was
nothing
being
every year.
magnanimous.
Yeah. And he would do shit like that. And I don't know. I don't know how many times I
What do
woke
you
up
even
to
do with
like
2 kickballs?
I would end up getting one back, but it's the fact that on Christmas morning it got robbed from me is basically it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's
Santa
pretty
brought
shitty.
me 2
That's
and
pretty shitty.
none. Can you believe it? Again?
I used to wake up to like the sound of change clinking, and I would like roll over, and he would be digging through my change jar, getting all the quarters out so he could And then I would just like it's 8 a.m. Like I can't just wake up and start chucking birdhouses at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you got to pick your fights, but he would just do it knowing that like we're not gonna get into a fight to the death at 8 a.m. Like I'm stealing from this guy right now. So that's why I've always had a thing for like locking shit up and like little boxes with locks and like hidey holes. And I used to take like Altoids cans and like put shit in them and then put them in a Ziploc bag and bury them in the backyard. My uncle had a rug that if you pull the rug up, there was a safe, a cylinder safe down in the slab. And I was like, oh, that's like John Wick shit. Like his hidden safe under his house. That's so badass. And so, yeah, I should stop talking. Don't, if you guys break into my house and look behind picture frames and shit, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I don't have any of these things I'm talking about. I have none of these things.
How about like when you pull a drawer out, like that underneath area of the drawer? There's probably nothing hidden in there at your house.
I actually just installed a drawer on my desk that up underneath it or up above it is a hidden little area that like when I moved this desk to Colorado, that's where I would store my weed.
Child pornography. Oh,
Yeah. But that's only when I have the desk in Colorado.
Yeah, that makes
which
sense.
is all the time I move it over there. But right now it's in Florida, so there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
You know they have medical marijuana in Florida, I hear.
Oh, and I have a herniated disc in my back.
Or maybe
I could
anxiety.
get it for that, couldn't I? It's
Yeah.
anti-inflammatory.
dude, you can get it if you just
Here,
are like,
Google-
I want to get
Goo-
high.
Yeah, Google Florida medical marijuana, and there's like a whole process that'll walk you through. They hold your hand.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
If
And I get
Missouri
my hand
has
held.
it, I imagine
Holy
almost every
shit.
state has it.
This is incredible. All right, yeah. I mean, if for some reason I get, or someone's trying to narc on me, I do have my license already. But thanks for the information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a good subreddit for it too. It's called like Legal Florida Trees or Florida Trees or something like that. And like all the users find like the best dispensaries and which ones are ripoffs and which ones have good shit. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they got a whole weird quasi thing in Florida. Florida's great. This DeSantis guy, like I didn't know anything about him, but he's been in the news so much lately that I've just been getting exposed to him. So I guess this thing he's doing to Disney, I guess they've been like sort of their own self-governing.
I saw something about that. Were they like a micronation? What the hell is going on with Disney?
Yeah, they're like the
Quasi-
Vatican down there.
They
But-
seem to have their own fire and police force.
Mhm.
That's wild.
I'm
They
not
have
sure-
to. I mean, they're so large. Like,
So I didn't read about it. My wife was telling me about it. Apparently, they don't fully fund their own fire and police force, and the debt that they have gets spread across the other counties. So they're getting kind of a sweet deal. And don't take these numbers to heart, but apparently they're in like the billions at this point. So what DeSantis is threatening to do, if this is even close to
Did it.
right? Okay, that part's news to me.
Well, I mean, they voted on it today.
Oh, okay. Then I'm a little out of date. It was going to cost Disney billions to sort of pay off the debt that had been previously spread around everywhere else.
wait,
I'm
the
not-
company
this is
collects
80% right?
taxes?
Disney?
That's what it says right here. That's what the producer guy. He's the voice of God. He can't be wrong. He says right here.
True.
They apparently it's a provision that allows the company to collect taxes and
Sweet.
issue bonds. Is that bans or issue
What?
bonds? Yeah.
I bet they can issue bans as well.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're banned. Boom. Disney power. Get matching
No,
outfits.
I was watching a YouTube video and the Democrats were screaming. The Democrat legislators were screaming to try to like delay the meeting. And of course, like everybody else is being a professional, so they're just hitting gavels and reading like the minutes or whatever the fuck they do. And now we'll look at Bill 31 CBR. And meanwhile, it's like murder! They're screaming. They're screaming. Blue-haired, like screaming people in the background, and they're the legislators. They're so loud and obnoxious. And they literally like voted on like 3 things in a row. I think they redistricted the state. And then they're like, all right, got that done. All right, let's fix. And then they like took Disney's power away. And like, all right, we got that. And then they like went on to some other
Yeah.
third thing.
Now let's vote on this bitch shutting the hell up, everyone. All right.
They should
Yeah,
have done
so
that first.
Florida had normally the legislator, this is the state senate and the state representatives, district the state, which is determining the lines where the different representatives come from.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the ones that they came up with weren't okay. So the legislation was like, fuck it. Let's just let the governor do it. And he's like, oh no, don't threaten me with a good time. And it must have passed today. So if you're a Republican, this is probably really good news. I would imagine the Republican governor made lines that Republicans like.
So what does it mean that Disney World is going to have, or Disney's going to have to pay back for all the beneficial treatment they've been getting?
Getting
CNN told me that
third-hand news
now,
there.
Yeah.
according to CNN, now the Orange County taxpayer might be getting hit with like $2,500 per member family now that Disney was footing the bill for before. But then that's CNN's propaganda for you. So I'm not sure. Fox News will tell me the opposite, that the families are all going to receive like a stipend or something.
That is bullshit, though. Like, just from any perspective, like when you hear that, like Walmart, like every Walmart employee is also getting government benefits because they don't pay enough. And so it's like, okay, so we're just subsidizing a workforce for Walmart. That's bullshit. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. It's trash.
When's the last time you were in a Walmart? Cool?
I haven't been to Walmart in a while. I have nothing against Walmart. I like it.
What, are you scared of them?
No, I mean, if I need to go somewhere and
the
get
way you
one
said
of
it, you're
anything,
like, nothing against Walmart though.
nothing against the esteemed Walton family.
God rest their souls.
When's the last time I've been in a Walmart? Again, I'm not afraid of Walmarts. Don't accuse me of being too big a pussy.
I'm not saying you guys are
I'm
afraid
of Walmart.
I'm saying you're not white
accusing
trash.
me of being
I'm accusing
scared
you of
Walmart.
having just a little class.
You hear that, Walton family? Kyle Myers in Northern Georgia says, "Give me all you got." Because he won't be bullied by these Waltons. He challenged them to fit.
If I go to Walmart, it's typically when I'm on the road. Like I want pistachios or something for my backpack, and because they hold well on a motorcycle ride.
I wanted an angle grinder the other day that cost $22, and wouldn't you know it, there's only one place in the world you can find that. So I went to Walmart. I got the cheapest. Walmart? I got the cheapest fucking angle grinder they sold, and some of those wire brushes, and I polished up all those weight plates, like stripped the paint off of them and stuff. And yeah, Walmart's great for like the cheapest shit you could ever buy. Like anything like that, I go to Walmart because it's close by, and I don't know where else you go to buy like, I don't know, cheap power tools that I intend to throw away in 6 months.
Yeah,
I refuse to go. I make my wife go. I say I'm not going to step foot in there. It's beneath me.
It's a smell.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous, and I'll send her in, and I'll go, if you make it out alive, please come home.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
I
think it's fair. You're the one streaming,
right?
The bill's got to be paid.
I mean,
this can't get damaged.
Right?
It can't.
No.
I mean, look, you'll go into Walmart when she knows where the exfils are.
Yeah, and more importantly, like, right down the road, like, it's not that much further of a drive. There's a fucking Publix, which you're never gonna get knifed or, assaulted at a Publix.
Yeah, Publix are nice. I like Publix.
They're okay.
They got good sandwiches, like the pre-made sandwiches, because they're cheap as shit, and it's like twice the size with the meat of a Subway sandwich.
I always like it too, because the bag boy always asks if you want to like help carrying your groceries out. And I'm like, I'm not going to ask like a physically retarded person to carry my groceries. Like, that is
no.
Why? No, I do that every time. No, I do that every time.
I feel like a
dude. I hook my bags on the back of their
cripple man. Bring
no,
my groceries.
that makes those guys' day. Like I feel like I bet they see that like the other guys who aren't retarded like often get asked by the old ladies to help them out. And they're like, why does no one ever ask me? They don't think I can do it. So I always find like the most messed up bag boy I can. And I'm like, dude, I can't handle this. Can you help me out? We make his day. We make his day.
He knows you can handle it. He knows you're placating him.
He doesn't.
Fucking ripped.
Dude,
you can carry
that's
8
the best
times
part.
more
No,
groceries.
I act like I can't lift the milk and stuff.
He's just
and
physically
then he
retarded.
grabs
His
it.
mind
He's
is
like,
fine. He knows exactly what you're doing. He's not 4 years old, dude. He's like,
I'm on Kyle's team. Like, dude, the other day I'm at the movie theater and there's a guy in a wheelchair. He talks shit to me. And I'm like, it would be an insult not to kick his ass, right? Like, if I don't beat the fuck out of this guy, then I'm not treating him like I do everyone else.
Yeah.
So
Kimura was too much.
Yeah.
I thought. Like, he was down.
Looks like you've got a date with a set of stairs, Wheels.
Yeah.
You just bully him, and then you're dropping banana peels behind you on as he's trying to chase you.
Yeah,
Spinning out. Yeah, no, I agree with Kyle. Like, you let him help. They feel like I have an exact experience with this. I was carrying a 12-pack a couple years ago of like LaCroix or whatever the fuck, and I got it out into the parking lot. The whole thing collapsed, all the cardboard and all these cans fell out. And who came? The able-bodied, the average IQ. They're passing me, not even looking, not even caring. And then this angel, this kind, mentally handicapped gentleman comes over, starts picking up the cans with me. He didn't have to do that. He was on cart duty. And I remember it. Now, every time I see that guy at that store, at that Deerberg's, I'm like, yeah, he doesn't remember me, but I don't say anything. I'm just like, yeah, I remember
like
that guy.
goldfish.
That guy's tight. He helped
They're
me
like-
out. And he enjoyed helping. I could tell.
Oh yeah,
But I wouldn't like make a mess for them to get involved helping. Like I wouldn't make him carry my groceries if I didn't need help.
All right,
You know, there's just enough old ladies
that actually
need
bar
They
or
love
something
it.
really
It's like-
small. I'll be like, carry this for me, and then
No,
I'll
it's
lead
like
them
when
out.
you,
with my
don't eat
dog
it.
to my car.
I know your type.
Taylor, have you ever seen Taylor? Have you ever seen like how happy huskies are when they get hooked up to the plow or whatever?
Are you about to equate these people to
Yeah.
dogs?
They're
Literally
doing what they
dogs?
love. They're doing what they
Mhm.
love, And you,
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to get hooked up to something and pull some guy in a sled and yell mush.
Mhm.
That's the worst thing ever.
Terrible.
I don't want to carry groceries either. But to that guy, oh, he loves it.
He loves it. He's a PhD of groceries.
He's mastered it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want them touching my shit. And I'll carry my own
They,
shit.
they don't wash well, do they?
Yeah. I don't want
Alright.
to catch your.
It's like
fucking
you go into
club
the
foot
bathroom
from
at
you
that grocery
touching my
store.
baguette. Like, fucking keep your hands to yourself. Yeah.
Dude, like you remember when you were a kid and you didn't understand like that certain things weren't diseases? Because I remember like I went into an old folks home with my mom. I'm like a young kid, and it was to see my great grandfather at the time. It was many, many years ago. And when I walked in, I was just like, oh, and I just walked around like this with my shirt over my face. Like it was such, and I was like a 4-year-old kid, and my mom had to tell me repeatedly, like, stop doing that. Like you're walking around like saucer-eyed, like smelling death for the first time in your life,
Oh,
and
God.
you want to pull it up over your nose. And I remember
It has
thinking
a
in my head,
smell,
I
doesn't
didn't
it?
think like these old people are dying. Yeah, I thought like,
Yeah.
how is everybody else not covering up their nose from this smell?
Jesus.
And now you realize old people, their noses are shot. Their noses
Is
are
that
fucked.
true?
I've never experienced this.
Yeah,
What?
You
like-
never
you
been
never
around anyone
smelled
dying
the
like
smell
that?
of death.
Yeah.
Smell of old people?
You know, when I was a
No,
kid, I
there's
would
death
actually,
has a
I would.
smell, for sure.
Old
Yeah, it
people have
does.
it on them?
Yeah, like if you walk
Yes,
into
you know what? Like some.
the ICU smells different than another fucking wing of the hospital, dude. You walk
Alright,
in those rooms and they
Forgive
they
me,
got
I'm a little
they got
confused about what
stench.
we're saying here. Are you suggesting that people of a certain age begin to smell like death? Or are you saying that where
Yes.
someone has died, then that room now smells like death?
No, we're not talking about
People who
decomposing
get to a
flesh.
certain age get to a smell of death.
All right, well, that's
Like
just
they, you can
nonsense.
smell the afterworld
not.
approaching. It's not. You know what? You
I
know what?
think
I
that
can
you're
prove
just
it. You know, at
equating
that
de-
same.
Here's what you're doing. You're equating your death smell is the smell of like a hospital where people dies. I bet it's the smell of like bleach and fucking maybe a little bit of like urine or something, and like it's the hospital smell. But there's no
That's-
The
if
maternity
you
ward
take that
don't
old
smell like
person-
that, man.
all right, you take a 103-year-old dying person out of that ICU, you drag them out on the beach somewhere in Florida, throw a little sand on them, smell them now. They don't smell like death.
Well, you just
They smell like
Febreze
a
them
dead
with the
beach.
essence of beach. Yeah, you fucked it
Yeah.
up. You can't.
I'm
If
just
you
saying, air 'em
artificially
out.
hide the death smell, and I could like, with my great grandpa, he used to introduce me to his very old friends there at the old folks home, and the ones that smelled like really very much of death, I would curl up at the foot of their bed and sleep there,
Yeah.
and I could almost predict
Comfort
their
'em.
deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how close
And
would
I
you
would-
be to the time when somebody was going to die?
By the time I woke, they were gone. I
Every
was kind
time?
of in, yeah,
God,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. How old were you?
I was probably 2. This was last year. I was 30.
I just imagine you curling up at the foot of my bed.
You're like a
Curling
big
up.
dude.
Have
So
you-
I just
have you-
imagine the bed's like compressed, like people you're laying on their legs.
I'm
You're the
totally
reason
on
they're
top
dead.
of
You're
their
throwing
little
them
legs.
clots. It's like this fucking 250-pound guy laid over my legs and crushed them, and then he got up, and I got blood clots into my heart.
Have you seen those stories
Echo.
of cats that can predict
Yes.
when people will die? Now
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can say that's obviously made up. No. Explain how all of these anecdotes from the same narrative-driven old women who are bored line up the same. I dare you.
I got nothing.
You're saying that all these people are just looking for attention, and it happens to be that a cat can
What-
walk into any room and predict a death pretty reliably?
It's in like
No.
nursing homes, right?
Yeah.
Someone should tell like whoever comes up with that shit that like nobody cared when you were gonna die anyway. Like the idea that you have the date nailed down is not a big deal to us.
Yeah. Dude, that's got to be the most depressing thing in the
God,
world.
you were supposed to laugh. That was an awful thing I said.
No, that made it made me feel sad, and, and now it made me think about how horrible of a death that would be. Alone in a nursing home, the nurses are tired of your shit. They're like rude to you. Sometimes they smack you or something.
Yeah.
Like
The
and just
most-
knowing you're gonna die.
The most depressing thing. Do you guys know what a death doula is? Okay, so what a doula is they're typically a birth doula, and they serve as like the mommy advocate at the hospital, right? They make sure that they're getting the attention they need, and they're just kind of like an experienced friend, paid. That's the doula. They're their helper. A death doula is someone who is your buddy as your mom or grandfather dies or whatever. And they've been through this process many times before, and they're just helping you understand what's going on and feeling a little better about it. We watched our mother-in-law as she fought cancer towards the end. Okay. And this person wasn't officially a death doula, but she kind of filled that role. She was a hospice worker, and she would come by and visit every day and kind of predict death, like, look her over and be, 3 to 5 days from now, like, oh, maybe tomorrow.
How did you pick a good one? They don't have reviews.
We didn't
they do.
pick her, but we got a good one. So the hospice assigned her to us. And one time she's over and she's with Jackie, and she would just visit for like 30 minutes and explain like what the death rattle is and the breathing patterns. And, you'd think a pamphlet wouldn't be helpful, but it was. Just like reading through what's brand new information to us, well phrased. Did you want to say something, Kyle?
I didn't want to interrupt, but I had a question. Is the pamphlet all text, or are there any cartoons of dying people in it?
There's like pencil sketches of
Like
things.
X's over the eyes.
No, not
really
like
would-
that.
Stick
But-
figures.
But like, a woman's hair and like a position she might lay in is like a pencil sketch type
Frowny
thing.
faces.
Yeah.
No. All right. So let me continue. Anyway, so one time she comes over and she's usually there for like 30 minutes, and like she might help change the sheets and stuff. You have to move someone this far along very gingerly. And you guys are laughing at my mother-in-law dying.
I am not.
So-
that wasn't my intention.
One time she comes over and she's like, she helps, she's finished, and she does this like she finishes and she's like, you know what, maybe I should stay. And that was her like, this woman's got minutes left. And she was right. She could see that. And she
It
was
was
by
the smell, by the way. That's what it was.
She's-
No death.
she was
Yeah.
by Jackie's side in the final minutes of her mother's life. And on one hand, this is like literally a hero to me. Like like this job, the function that she serves is huge and valuable in this world. But I could never do it.
What a
Imagine-
horrible job.
Right?
They're always good. Hospice doesn't fuck around. My
I just
experience with
imagine, like-
hospice, every single person was super professional, and they did the same shit. They walked in, and once again, by the way, Kyle, fuck you. It was the smell. They walked in and went, "Yep, he's going," and they,
Who is
within like
this we're
30
talking
minutes.
about?
Oh, it was my grandfather.
Okay.
They took a
Yeah.
whiff and they were like, soon.
They didn't even open the door. They put their nose to the floor right at the crack, and they went,
See, I've never heard of that, but I have
30
heard.
minutes.
See, what we did when my grandmother was going, we had a guy come in with a divining rod, like they find
Oh.
wells with.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
put that over her head to toe, and he was like, yep.
Did he
And
drop
then
the little stick on her? You
Yeah.
know, like if
Yeah,
you
it
fuck
dipped.
up and then
It did. Yeah.
What are those called?
The divining rod.
a divining rod.
Yeah, you've never
They
seen
can
someone
find
do it?
wells or dying people, not dead people, not alive people, but right in between.
Right
That
in
thing will go
between.
wacky right over 'em.
Purgatory people.
I do
Yeah.
know they say it'll lead you to water, right?
Yeah, so I've had a well drill before, or an attempt. The way it works is you pay like $900,
The
$1,000.
mining people didn't.
He
look up
failed.
twice?
Well, I mean, hey, if it's not there, he can't find it. So they drill 3 times, and like, whether it works or not, we're gonna drill 3 times, up to 3
You
times.
paid
and pay
him
us the
3
money.
times.
No, you pay
God.
one flat fee, and the deal is he'll.
No,
drill
you pay
like
for the 3 drill
holes.
package, you get the beams. Yeah.
He comes out with the rods though, and the rod dips, and he drills, and he's like, "Nope." And I'm like, And he gets back out with the rods and drills, and nope. And then the third time he gets like a trickle, and he's like, I knew there was some here. But it
I would've-
still like
after
wasn't
the
enough
first
for a
one, I'd be
well.
like, fuck you, I'm picking the next spot. Like, this is my money. For the holes.
What am I just guessing? I'm gonna throw a rock?
Yeah, it's more accurate than the stick, man. Like, there's no
Is
way
the
that...
stick accurate or not?
No, he's
No, it's a
guessing.
fucking stick.
Dude,
Of course
It's
not
called
accurate.
it's called water dousing, and it seems to be a way that you fooled people before science was around.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Oh, okay. So here's my story. This happened this fall, like later this winter. It just happened. We have an underground hose that goes from the well to the stable, and in the stable there are some like faucets and shit. Okay. There's a puddle in the yard that doesn't belong there. It's at a high point, like water wouldn't collect on the top of a little mound. And I tried to convince myself that it wasn't a problem for a day or two, but it's not going away. And Jackie's like, I bet a pipe burst that goes from here to there. And I stop lying to myself, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I call my hole guy. I got a hole guy, and I'm like, I need a hole dug and this thing repaired. And he's like, I'm your guy. And he uses a witching rod. I think that's what he called it. It was like a coat hanger bent in a right angle, and he follows it and finds the water. And I'm like, he seemed to genuinely believe this. And he's like, it definitely works. And he let me try it. And it's like twirling around in ways that I think I'm not controlling, but I don't know for sure. Because he's so convincing. I don't
Dude, in
know.
his private
You can't
Facebook
call
group
into
later,
question.
he's like, I got
got a
another one.
You can't shit on the death smell if you believe the coat hanger is finding water, okay? Like,
I
there's
don't.
no way.
I don't believe the coat hanger can find water, and I don't believe that anybody can smell someone and know that they're about. How about this? Guy's about to die. You smell him. You got the scent in your nose.
Mhm.
What if I rush in real quick and we provide some extra medical care and push him along for 3 or 4 days? Are you wrong in this
Then the
instance?
smell wouldn't have existed in the first place because he wasn't about to die.
Exactly.
Checkmate.
You were wrong. Checkmate.
No, I think he'll just linger there. Like, he'll just smell
There's
like
no
shit
smell.
for 3 days. There is. They're like lungs and liver and everything's failing, and their bodies stew.
All right.
mush
How
on
about
the
this?
inside.
How about this?
They're falling apart.
There might be a very particular kind of death, perhaps one that involves liver failure that makes you smell a certain way.
Things
'Cause
are
maybe you're-
shutting
maybe you're
down.
swe-
They
maybe
just
like
fucking, their cells aren't reproducing right. They're just, it's like like, I'm not talking like if someone gets whacked by a car and then they linger on for 15 minutes on the sidewalk. I'm not going to walk by and be like,
they don't have the scent.
he smells like death. No, I'm talking about someone that's like, their body has lived its max and it's
Yeah.
like, fuck it.
Someone-
I'm starting to shut down and the
yeah.
brain is still happening to
Someone
be
who's like
functioning.
marinating in death. They're
Well,
Yeah.
look, I'm going to hit up some hospices this week. I'll get
Go
back. to you.
sniff.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
sniff.
And
around,
I just
see what
found
find out.
this. It was the first result on Google from a very pointed search, I'll admit. But changes to the metabolism of the dying person can cause their breath, skin, and bodily fluids to have a distinct smell similar to nail polish remover. And then if it's bowel or stomach cancer, it can be stronger. So
Yeah.
there is a smell
I like
that
that.
happens.
You went out of your way, the other believer here, went out of your way to go Google shit because you saw Zach was putting all this fucking bullshit propaganda in the chat that was basically saying we're scientifically debunked and there is no death smell. But what
Yeah.
does he know? He's just
What does
an
he
idiot.
know? This is
Yeah, he's
from
not here to defend himself.
hospiceuk.org. .org, dumbasses. They don't hand those out. This is-
I want to see Zach's
They literally
sources.
hand them out.
I want to see his bibliography.
This is from the rightwingnation.fact. And it's that probably is a site. That's like there is something. Do you guys feel the same way where like you'll look something up and you'll get the information you wanted
Mhm.
about anything and then it'll be like a .biz, and you'll immediately assume like these fucking clowns, like as if they know the right way to work your ROM boy, whatever the fuck the question.
I've been on the other side too, where it's like, oh, I've got a great idea for business. I'm gonna name it, the right wing fact, the truth from the right, and then truthfromtheright.com is taken. Truth from the .net is taken, and you're like, will people take me seriously if I'm .org? Will people take me seriously if I'm .fact or whatever?
You have to just keep getting longer and longer. Find us at the absolute. Don't ask questions. Your answer is here. Truth.biz is how it would go. But I mean, there's so many sites now. Oh, I do have to do the ads.
Oh yeah.
1 second. This show's flying by. 2 hours in.
That's been fun.
Spring has finally come, so let's help you do the same. That's right. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, confidence can take you far in life. It can also help in the bedroom, especially when it comes time to step up to the plate. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. So no visit to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code PKA at checkout. Just pay the $5 in shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code PKA to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew so much for sponsoring the podcast. Thank you, Blue Chew, for deigning to sponsor us with your dick pills. We appreciate it. Bluechew.com, promo code PKA. Just pay the $5 in shipping. Get your dick hard. Friends, get your dick so hard that it's angry looking. It's gonna be great. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna love it. Your dick is gonna be so hard, believe me. So check out Blue Chew. And this episode of PKA also brought to you by ExpressVPN. Admit it, you think that cybercrime is something that happens to other people. You may think that no one wants your data or that hackers can't grab your passwords or credit card details, but you'd be wrong. Stealing data from unsuspecting people on public Wi-Fi is one of the simplest and cheapest ways for hackers to make money. When you leave your internet connection unencrypted, you might as well be writing your passwords and credit card numbers on a huge billboard for the rest of the world to see.
Fool.
You fucking idiot.
I mean,
That's why we decided to take action, which is why we're recommending you get ExpressVPN to protect yourself from cyber criminals. ExpressVPN secures and anonymizes your internet browsing by encrypting your data and hiding your public IP address. ExpressVPN has easy-to-use apps that run seamlessly in the background of your computer, phone, or tablet. Turning on ExpressVPN takes only one click. Using ExpressVPN, I can safely surf on public Wi-Fi without being snooped on or having my personal data stolen. For less than $7 a month, you can get the same ExpressVPN protection that I have. ExpressVPN is rated the #1, the numero uno VPN service by TechRadar and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect your online activity today and find out how you can get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/PKA. That's expressvpn.com/PKA for 3 months free with a 1-year package. Visit expressvpn.com/PKA to learn more. 3 months free with the 1-year package. So check that out. ExpressVPN, Blue Chew, couple of wonderful sponsors. And like every week, Lock and Load. Code PKA on Derek's site linked below. 10% off Lock and Load and 10% off all of the other wonderful products. The pre-workout, the nitric pre-workout, the glycerol, the protein powder, the turkesterone, all of it.
Turkesterone's on sale.
Off. It's on sale, so get another 10% off with code PKA.
I don't know about that. I don't know if they can buy.
Start coming like a man. It's 10% off of everything, yes.
Dude, you guys are running like a 18th century apothecary shop over here. You got little
What you want?
and
We are.
salves and elixirs and
You need
boner
something?
pills and
Come one, come all. Try the PKA Come Elixir. You'll be coming so a week from now when I'm gone, you'll still be coming. It's a real one. See, if a fucking scam artist was selling this back in the day, he wouldn't have had to put X's on towns that he'd already swindled. He'd be going back for repeat business because this shit works. It's so tremendous. So come like a man, code PKA, start busting, folks. Start having big old loads.
You guys ever have the Schwan Man growing up? You ever seen the Schwan Man?
Did he come to your house?
Yeah.
It was awesome, right?
Yeah,
is that the carpet
This
guy?
No, he would. It was like a frozen foods.
Yeah.
And he had this big refrigerator truck that had all these fucking like crazy doors on the side of it. And I remember even when you would cancel your subscription, he would still roll by and stop, be like, "Hey, you wanna? I was in the area. Didn't know if you want." Because once he's there, it's like an ice cream truck. You're gonna fucking all right. Give me some ice cream.
We get those little pizzas.
But he sells broccoli. Like, how can you be so tempted?
No, he's got everything.
No, he's got everything. They got ice cream sandwiches. They got the Flintstones push pops. They got the
everybody come quick! It's the steamed vegetable man.
That's what I thought it was.
Did he
not say it
my
was
grandma to buy me
Schwan
vegetables
Man.
out of the Schwan Man? Yeah, no. But I
like
remember that gravy train ended when he accidentally ran over the corner of my grandfather's driveway and cracked it. And then my grandfather went out there and was like, "You son of a bitch, I fucking stormed the beaches of Normandy and you come crack my fucking driveway. I'll crack your fucking..." And the guy never came back ever again. I never had ice cream sandwiches ever again at my grandparents' house because he had to throw a fit over the corner of a fucking driveway getting cracked off. That's some boomer shit, by the way. They're the only people that
would get that pissed over
care about that. Yeah.
I fought in Normandy.
It's a fucking driveway. It gets driven on. Of course it's going to get cracked. The UPS man parks at the very end and walks this like just walk of shame through the rain to my house. I'm like, pull in. He's like, "I don't want to crack your driveway." I'm like, "It's cracked already. It's a fucking, there's trees everywhere." Like,
Dude,
it doesn't matter.
So we have a very long driveway in the front of the house, and then there's a circle. So you drive all the way down it, and it's easy to turn around and go back. I think some of these drivers don't see the circle from the street. Yeah. So they just like driving backwards for what seems like 5 minutes. Beep, 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 as it gets closer and closer and louder and louder. And I'm like, dude, just drive like a normal person. Drive forward like everyone else does. But they back up.
Maybe you need a sign that says "turn around ahead."
I had the creepiest shit in the world happen to me. Outside the front of my house, a UPS guy at like 9 o'clock. You know how they stopped delivering at 9? Well, I thought they all just went back to their depot or whatever. UPS truck like blocks my driveway, and then another UPS truck backs up, and they get right on top of each other. And then I saw their doors open through the little crack, and so they had like a bumper to bumper UPS trucks. And they had the lights on in there. I don't know what the fuck was going on in that little secret cavity they made at the foot of my driveway. But
what a mystery.
I sat there and looked at them through the blinds. It was nighttime too. They could see me fucking cracking the blinds. Like my lights were on in the room and everything. I was just watching them. Like, what the hell is it? I'm assuming they're loading boxes back and forth.
I would imagine.
Just so strange that they would do this weird.
Officer, there's two men having sex near my front
yard. They needed a lot of room too. They bumped the trucks together and made one big room. Yeah, it was astounding.
Maybe they're having their little break.
Well, they're trading boxes.
It just, why do it at the foot of my driveway?
Yeah, why not do that at the distribution center?
You never complain when they drive on it, so
yeah.
Made sense.
I don't complain. Well, they never pull into my driveway. My driveway is too short to be meaningful.
I felt bad for the UPS guy because I got that Titan squat bar. That thing's like 76, 78 pounds. And then that entire set of weight plates. Yeah, right? I'm like, we don't even need the plates.
Why did I buy these?
Like just picking it up and moving around, it's like, holy shit, it's solid. Like it's this like 2-inch solid pipe that goes anyway. I got that, and then like a full set of bumper plates, and that poor fucker. I wanted to help him because I'm like, hey, it's a pretty good workout, like hustling up the driveway with weight plates. But I opened the door just as he was putting the last like 45er down and like wiping his brow, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." He's like, "Oh, don't sweat it, brother. This is what I get paid the big bucks for." And then like I saw a tear
That's
come
cool.
out of the corner of his eye as he walked away. But that is what he said. He was pretty cool guy. I appreciate it.
I like your bumper plates. So Kyle sent a video to the WhatsApp that we all hang out
They look
in,
good.
and he showed us his new bumper plates, and I like it. I like that the 10s are the same size as the 45s. I know that's bumper plate stuff, but mine are different. We were talking about Kyle totally understood. My plates are not cool. I don't think like they work well. They add weight to the bar. Like there's no reason that they're not perfect. They might even be in some ways better because they're all like by being this tri grip, they have handles that make it easy to take on and off. And some of my fingers don't work that well, and it's nice. So but Kyle's look so good. I want them instead. That's what's up.
It does look nice. You have the nice white Rogue written on there. My bumper plates are just bullshit, cheap stuff from when Titan's quality was worse, like 4 years ago. No, there's no nice like etching around the letter. Your gym's gonna look awesome. I'm excited to see the finished product.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. I looked around a lot for like trying to strike that like middle ground between expensive and quality with the weight plates. Because I just didn't. One thing was I didn't want to drag my rusty ass iron plates back and forth across that brand new Rogue bar that's Cerakoted. That seemed those plates don't belong on that bar. And scum, get back on the pulley machine where you belong. Rusty fucks. So what was I saying before that? The plates. Oh, I tried to strike that middle ground with like value and quality and all that stuff. I think the Rogues are just the best. Like they're so big that they can just make less money per plate. That they seemingly don't care for like a really high quality plate. So like if you want to save money below the Rogues, even if you get a set of Titan blemished plates from their scratch and dent section, it's more expensive than just buying those nice Rogue plates. Because I did the math when we were talking about it. It was like $667 for Titans blemished. So like I guess you can go back and like fill in the white with some like pen marker or something and make it look normal. But then those Rogues were $500 roughly for like a full set.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I dig them a lot. It just feels nice putting them on. And then deadlifting on concrete, that's going to be a problem too.
Sam loves talking about gym equipment.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about. My wife got a Peloton.
Ooh.
Those are nice.
Been riding that. It's pretty lame. Hey, I did
It's like a
find out
video
some
game,
shit.
right?
I don't have any competitive spirit, right? Like I'm not that. I don't know. Like you guys are like, we lift heavy shit. I'm like, why? I don't get it. But I did find out that when you do the Peloton thing, if you do like a ride, you can see the people that are currently doing the ride.
Yeah.
And the only thing I've realized that is like that gives me any sort of like motivation to do. That's why I don't get is like when you guys lift stuff and then like what's the incentive to come back and go like now we're adding more, like that whole building part is that I don't get that. But with this Peloton thing, I can see where I am speed wise and kilowatt whatever output wise compared to the other people near me. And as you pass someone, or if you see someone you can like wave at them. And so what I do is right when I'm coming up on someone, right as I pass them, I wave at them. So I know they look at my name and then see me go boop right above them. And that's the only joy I get out of ever exercising is just,
That
and you
is
can see their
competitive
age too.
spirit.
So I'm like
It's a little
stomping,
Eddie.
spirit.
I'm stomping like 60-year-olds like, haha, fuck you.
It's
You're
it's
30
literally a
years older
rehab
than me.
center.
Yeah.
It's not even that, Kyle. It's hospice.
I'm learning to walk again, you asshole.
Oh yeah. By the way, I don't even get like up into like the single digit thousands on these rides, like of all the people doing them at one time. But
You asked why do we like lifting the heavy things? We hate it. You think we enjoy lifting weights? You think I think weightlifting equipment is cool? No, it's fucking lame as shit. I don't want to. It's expensive too. It's really expensive. I don't want to lift it.
it's expensive
I
to
want
do the
to
most
look
meathead
like
thing.
I lift weights.
Oh.
If I could just take that pill,
It's like
then
a
I wouldn't need
aesthetic thing.
$5,000 worth of gym equipment.
Why don't you get those like the Indian guys where you get like the stuff injected in you and what have
The
you?
synthol.
Oh, the
Yeah.
synthol. Yeah.
Those guys look natural and great.
Yeah.
Those guys
Have you
don't
seen
look
that, like,
a
Russian
Stretch
guy?
Armstrong that has lumps in it? Yeah. I
Yeah,
love
those
the
are
ones where
terrible.
they just are like nothing here, and then they get just like the trap muscles or whatever.
Yeah, they get traps and biceps, no triceps, can't be bothered.
Oh,
Yeah,
That guy looks great.
that guy.
Dude, that guy,
fucking
unironically,
rules. I
good,
would,
just
I would hang out with that guy.
to be
Nice-
fair,
nice
that
tits.
guy,
I was
think
gonna.
that guy-
Am I the only one that's thinking about titty fucking this dude?
I mean, you
is
go
there-
like this, yeah, yeah.
If you add, I went straight to that. I was
I
like,
want to fuck that armpit.
That's
That's
like
the trifecta.
Indian. Is this like Indian
Oh.
Anthony Cumia?
Look at his
His
armpit almost looks like a butthole. Like that's where I'm going. I'm
you know
going
what
to
he
that armpit.
needs? Abs. Why does it? Is
Yeah,
his body fat too high? What's up with
because
that?
he ran out of the liquid. Look at it. It's like a Quasimodo trap. One trap that's
Maybe.
fused into one thing.
It's a hump.
That's where he stores water for long
Why does
desert
he have any
expeditions.
abs? I like abs. Like abs are one of the things that I value the most in a guy's physique, and he doesn't have. Maybe just not flexing well.
Well,
Are
I mean,
you-
like, look at the forearm that he's flexing with. Like, that is not the forearm of someone with that.
my! I didn't
Woody,
notice.
by the way, like the whole point of this is that this guy isn't jacked. He injected these muscles. Like,
I'm
these are
aware,
not
but
real.
I,
'Cause
abs
you're
don't,
sitting
you don't
there,
have to
like,
be
you're
jacked
really
to have
critiquing
abs.
this. Like, where's this man's abs? Like, he doesn't work for it.
Okay, okay,
He
you're
gets
right.
injected. That's the whole point.
You're right. You're
The
right.
size
A
of
guy
his
that does that
bosom.
shit is not going to be like,
Dude,
okay, I faked this
some of
stuff,
the
but I'm going to
best
get the abs.
Some of the best abs you'll find are guys who don't lift. Some people are just skinny.
This
Dude,
guy
like, if
had,
you cover up the nipple with your thumb, it genuinely looks like they, like, chopped off someone's, like, Brazilian
Here's what's
butt
funny
lift
about
and
this
put
guy.
it on his chest.
So this guy is
Mhm.
taking this picture in like his like post-workout area. Like this guy works out a lot. He works out a ton. He's sweaty post-workout. He's showing you a pump right now. That's in his mind. He's got his protein powder and his pre-workout in the background along with his blender. Like this guy works out.
Yeah. And go ahead and take a peek at
That's
way
all
that-
natural is what I'm
look,
saying.
look at the grout behind his right bicep.
I saw
Kind
it.
of weird how it becomes a bit of a semicircle there. The rest of it under
The
his
whole
arm
room
is
is
straight.
warped around him, Taylor.
Yeah, the whole room is warped around him.
I thought it was just he was so jacked that he had a gravitational field and light was bending. But you're
Yeah.
telling me that's a bit of trickery.
the muscles
it
that
seems-
dense.
That we've been hoodwinked by his
Well.
purported success. Yeah, that
They
I
get me
wouldn't
every
do the
time.
synthol thing. So it seems easier to just lift the weights. And
Oh,
like
no, it doesn't.
it is fun to lift when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah,
Really?
sometimes
It's
it
just
can
not
be
fun to
fun.
start.
Yeah, it feels good, and it's like there's a sense of accomplishment, and you get like a lot of brain chemicals that make
Mhm.
you say like that was good what you just did, or maybe
Yeah,
it's
but couldn't-
saying
couldn't
like
you get
Yeah.
that from playing, like a round of Call of Duty?
nah, it's
The
different.
the same level. Of,
Not in the same way.
not in the same way. Okay.
No,
Huh.
It'd be
More-
more if all of your dopamine
like-
is from winning games of Call of Duty.
It'd
Got
be
into
like-
lifting, it'd be a more intense dopamine trip.
it's like have
That's
you ever
a
heard?
sad
Have
life
you ever
if
like,
that's your main source of dopamine is playing Call of Duty?
or if you've ever
No,
like,
we're
heard
all
an-
the drug addicts as well.
Yeah.
We all do heroin.
Yeah, we're not sad.
We all dabble in cocaine. Yeah. We're all gacked out all the time.
I'm
What if
sorry,
we did
Kyle. You
bomb-
were gonna say something. Let it rip.
I give up.
No.
No, I was just gonna ask you if you ever like heard an animal that was like defenseless and couldn't stop you, like that good, that kind of good feeling. That's what you
Mm.
get, when you're really just putting
Yeah.
the screws to it, and you're like, no one can stop me. That kind of power. That's what you feel when you like get a new power lift and a new record, or you just try something new and it just feels really good. You're accomplished. You feel powerful,
Mm-hmm.
and the voices go away. It's good stuff.
It's the
You just feel good.
Huh. Yeah, I think I might try it because I said I had a herniated disc earlier, and it's
Yeah.
from doing a really intense maneuver where I took my 18-pound baby and put it in the crib and leaning over the crib wall, carrying that massive burden of weight, less than a Thanksgiving turkey. I actually herniated a disc in my lower back. And the doctor, not the doctor, like my physical therapist was like, dude, you got like nothing back. His back is empty. It's like, it's just, he was like massaging it. And he's just like, it's just like fat and bone. That's
Oh
how I
my
feel. Like, There's supposed to be shit up and down here. He's like, where the fuck is it?
It's like, were you born without lats? Are you a medical marvel? Like, well, that
Oh, I've
fucking
been-
sucks.
Yeah,
You would
that's-
benefit from working out then if you already have like back problems.
Yeah, that's why I've started doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, because apparently, like, there is a middle ground where, like, you know, you can work out so much that you look like that horrific gentleman that bends light, and then you can also work out so little that picking up a baby ends up being a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
So
That's the sort of thing Tucker,
Your
Tucker
playing
Carlson
days are over.
That's a whole Tucker Carlson story. Like modern
this
so
fucking
effeminate he
pussy
can't
bitch.
even hold his own
You
child.
may have heard of this content creator, General Sam. Yes.
Now he's electing. He's
Not
he's
the general-
filing for disability because he picked up his own baby.
Is this the man you want influencing your kids? Let's take a look. And then it's just a picture of you.
He just plays like any video. Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
You never want to hear
That's
that.
like my greatest fear is not
You're like,
just
this will be
getting
fair.
Yeah.
This'll
Like,
be
oh
even
no.
by the
handed.
mob, but like having anything I've ever made just be on national television and scrutinized by the general public is like I would probably just kill myself before I hear what the news backlash is. If I
it'd be
just turned
terrible.
on the TV and saw myself, I'd be like, it's over. I don't even want to hear what they have to say about it.
Oh yeah, you would know, like, if you turned on the TV and you saw your face, you would know
This
that
ain't
it
good.
wasn't something positive.
Yeah, this ain't good. They're not here to praise me. They're not putting me on the news and gonna say, this guy fucking rules. No, it's something bad. It's not good.
Oh, they
We've got
must really
Ted
appreciate
Cruz
how
here
I
to
ate
talk
that
about
Tarkov
General
food.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so fucking funny if you got featured on Tucker Carlson. I personally would get a laugh out of it.
Yeah.
That would
I don't
be
know. Like, I'm trying to think, like, Tucker Carlson. I don't know. Like, is that someone that he would probably do some sort of like mental gymnastics on me. I'm trying to think, is there like a single talk show host that I think I could verbally one-on-one? Probably none, because they have like writing teams and stuff that are giving them little CIA pointers through a little earpiece.
Yeah. And because, like, if you actually did start to like if you went on Hannity and really made him look retarded, like, you'd get 3 seconds into something and you'd be muted or hung up on. Like, every show's like
yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah, they don't want the guy getting dunked on.
yeah. Anyone
Which
can
I
call
would
in and
keep
ask
those
questions
episodes
as long
if
as you
I-
agree.
If
Oh,
I had
hey.
a show, I would definitely keep those in where I just get fucking dunked on and made look like an idiot.
Yeah, it'd make that's why your show would be funny, and none of these shows are funny.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I've
as
never
soon as
watched
I
one.
start
Maybe
getting,
Hannity's
like-
hilarious. I don't know.
You've never
I
watched
just hope
Hannity?
that-
I like Hannity.
No.
Very entertaining.
Is he good? I never watched like any of
Depends
that
what
new
you like.
stuff. I get like hold on, I have my list here. No, or do I? Oh, I do the Associated Press and was this Reuters? Yeah.
See, I don't
those
listen
are
to
my
that
two.
unbiased news. I listen
Yeah.
to both biased sides and try to
Oh, no,
figure it
I
out.
follow CNN and
Yeah.
Fox on Twitter because like I love seeing just like because they'll report on the same story, but the headlines will be just like for their audience, like they just reword shit like
Yeah.
to the point where it just doesn't even fucking make sense when you actually read the article. Like it just has nothing to do with whatever they're talking about.
Or like the articles are so lazy. Like, I hate this, and I don't feel like it's always been like this, but articles will be like, so and so wants to change the tax plan to make it 2% higher, and it's a good thing. Or like, in the headline,
the opinion
Oh,
piece. Yeah.
I like all
they're
my
citing a new
headlines.
thing to change this about immigration. Here's why it's nice, or here's why it's bad, and it's like, that's just PR. That's not journalism.
Your news is really too high quality. Mine is like Ben Shapiro destroys college student. I'm like, oh, I guess I gotta see that.
He has the easiest job in the world. Like
He
just-
does.
He just
yeah.
goes to colleges and makes kids at the possibly one of the frailest mental part of your life. You're there to learn, but really you're just like your
They're
emotions are just
19 years
swinging.
old and they
Yeah.
have 6 weeks experience following the politics.
Yeah, and you're gonna be sitting there like in front of all these people, like nervously trying to dunk on this guy that has done this shit for years. Like, of course he's gonna win.
and who's good, right? Like
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro, while obviously he's dunking on Fisher Price hoops, he's still good. Like
He
he's
dunked on us all, just to be
yeah,
clear. It's not-
exactly,
it's
right.
not,
He's
look at
like a
those college
debate guy.
kids. They
That's
don't
what
know
he
how to
does.
handle him. No, he fucks up.
He fucked me up too. Exactly.
Yeah.
He'd ask me like one basic question about how like finance works, and I'd be like, I do not recall. I don't know.
What was your
I'd be
degree
just
in
like
again?
looking over his shoulder, like, did you bring your fucking big tittied sister? Like, whatever. Like, that's what I would be asking about. Like, that's the only reason I know him is because everybody else is like, Ben Shapiro's sister has big tits. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
that's the big titty sister's brother. I remember him. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only reason I know who he is because I've just seen her more.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know the pictures you're talking about. I feel bad for her. Like,
oh, yeah, she's
like
she's,
truly
like,
because
such a
it's like
nice person.
she doesn't want to be involved in all the
Yeah.
shit he does in like the controversial shit stirring and everything, but like he's so I guess popular in that space that it drags everyone adjacent to him. I haven't seen anything from him in a long time. I don't know what he's up to. I guess he's still debating 17-year-olds at college, 19-year-olds.
No, I feel like he's running an organization now. Like he has other people that he's hired, and he's still doing it himself. But
Oh no, he's doing a TV show or something. Like he has like
Oh.
a company or something called like Daily Wire. I don't know this
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing where I
Yeah.
don't know enough about him because I mostly follow his sister and she retweets stuff from him. Abby, if you're out there, you know how you doing. And if my wife watches this, she'll like suspect I'm talking about her because her name's Abby. So that's the only reason I chose Ben Shapiro's sister is because her name.
Well, that's
matches
one of
my
the
wife's
three
name.
reasons.
Yeah. And
wait, what is it about Ben Shapiro's sister that I don't know, Taylor?
she's just got
Just
fat titties, dude. Just go look her
huge
up.
tracts
Ah.
of land.
I need to see
Yeah.
this now.
Yeah.
And there's
Um,
some that are like
But she also
Photoshopped.
Oh,
looks like Garand Thumb, that gun guy
she's
YouTuber.
pretty. Oh my
I was
goodness!
hoping one of you guys would know who I'm talking about. Yeah, she kind of looks like him.
Here's a link.
Oh, okay. You're pretty right.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Scroll down on that thing. She's got some big Bohanka Hugas. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, hey, look.
Honkahugas.
Yeah, I closed out of it, and there we are. I'm just looking at them. Okay, very nice. Yeah, she's a pretty attractive lady. And more importantly, it's just funny when like he's sitting there talking about shit politically, and then people under everything he posts, there's like, your sister's hot. And he's just like, dude, we're like trying to talk about international economic policy here. Like, can you stop bringing her into this? And they'll like fucking like just drag her into it immediately. And he's just like, come on. And then
Yeah,
she's
it's
trying
like
to post about her
everything's
life.
like
She's
that.
trying to be like Mrs. like Southern conservative Jewish belle. I don't know. And she just posts about like her in a sundress, and she's like, I just growing my own herbs or whatever in my garden. And then everybody's replying to her just like, your fucking titties are fat, lady. Hell yeah. Whoa.
That is
It's just-
fun.
it sucks. Like it has to suck to be her.
It'll be
But,
like, here's my favorite composer in the comments, like Booba.
Yeah, there's like videos of her singing like classical, like she has like opera voice or whatever, and she's obviously talented and trying to be refined and everything. And it's just hilarious to have the most degenerate comments under everything she posts.
Oh,
I mean, as an outsider looking in, it's funny. But if I was
I
her,
feel bad for her. Yeah.
yeah, that would suck if I was her. But I'm not her, so I think
Hey,
it's
she can
funny.
wear a sports bra and take care of this whole problem, right?
Can she?
Yeah.
No, she dresses like
You
the
have to talk to
older
NASA.
the more time it's been, the more spotlight she's in. She dresses like a fucking Mennonite. She's got them things locked up, like
Oh.
fucking shirts up here, dresses
For good reason. It
fucking
sounds
up
like
to her like turtleneck. Yeah,
there's a bunch
it's-
of
fair.
ghouls everywhere every time she says
Ghouls.
anything.
Yeah.
There are. That's what they are. Just ghouls.
I'm just
Have you
trying to get
been,
a peek, lady? Like, loosen up, come on. But she's not.
Have you been watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard like trial go on?
oh! I've been
I saw
seeing
that,
terrible
yeah.
biased headlines. Lay it out for us, Kyle.
Well, I can't lay it out per se. I
I'm
mean, she's
sorry.
clearly the guilty party here. She's the
Wait.
one who abused him, and he never did
Yeah.
anything at
Can
all.
I-
Tell me the backstory.
Is the backstory like I remember everybody was like, we hate Johnny Depp because he's like a dick, and then like now there's because I remember that whole bandwagon, and then there's evidence later that like she was actually making it up or something like that. And
Yeah, well, he
she's actually
recorded
a
her.
bitch.
He recorded her, and she's like, "Yeah, I made it all up. You cracked the code, didn't you, Johnny? You're so smart. You figured it out that it was a big fake. No shit, I made it up." And it's like they're playing this in court while Johnny Depp sits there like, "Told you." And then like, then they play the other tape where she's like, "I did not punch you, you pussy. I hit you. I hit you, and you took it like you're supposed to. Okay, you were the bigger person, but I was not punching you. I was hitting you." He's like, and you can hear him like, "You were hitting me in the face. I had to leave because you were assaulting me." Oh, big baby. And it's just like, oh my God, she's the worst. And then he describes like the situation where she cut off the tip of his finger.
Yeah, she like threw a bottle at him and
Yeah,
it
yeah, like
severed the tip of his finger.
It lost, and then like in cross examination, they're like, "When you're at the hospital, did you ask for cocaine?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Thought I'd give it a go.
He talked a little bit
like,
about
part of that trial at all. Like,
like
what?
when-
Anyways, the reason why we're here, she cut off my finger, and yes, I wanted cocaine. That has nothing to do with whether
Do
or
you
not she
mean
did
after
it.
she mutilated me?
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
seems like, but I remember as that
Oh,
was
and then the
happening
best
too.
part.
Oh, go ahead.
The best part, I guess, like the situation must have been that they were feuding, and maybe she was about to go on some trip. You know, they're cohabitating. And anyway, long story short, she shat in his bed. She took a shit in his bed. A turd was
bitch.
laid in his bed. And like people came over and they were like, "Oh my God, Amber shit in your bed." And they're like, "Are you sure it's not a dog?" And they're like, "No, that's people shit. Amber did that." And like, and now this is part of the record because like they're going
Yeah.
back and forth. And Amber, I think I didn't see this part of the trial. I'm not sure that it exists, but I was told that there was a part where like she is like, "No, that was dog poo," and they're like, "Absolutely, it was not dog poo. I saw the poo. It did not come out of a dog."
That is such an alpha move to like shit in someone's bed. That is fucking insane. Hats off to her. By the way, at what point during like an abusive relationship, like if a woman's like hitting you, cutting off your finger or whatever, like when can he just be like, "Yeah, it was at that point where I fucking socked her right in the throat. I haymakered her right in the side of the head."
Never.
Like, at what point does the court go like, "All right, like you have like you know, documentation that this lady's fucking insane, and we're gonna believe that this was probably self-defense."
Well, I think the answer is pretty clear because Johnny never touched her, and yet he is on trial right now.
Is he on
Yeah.
trial?
Okay, yeah.
Is that?
I think he's I think it's
I
a
don't know which-
defamation lawsuit. That's
Yeah,
what they're in
yeah.
trial with right now. But
Yeah, it's.
yeah, I still
they've
think
been
after
through
he
a
had the
couple things
mountain of
already.
evidence, he should have fucking had one physical retaliation. Yeah,
I think
should
it
be
He
the
should-
rule.
yeah, that should
Uppercut.
be the justice. Yeah, it'd be like
No,
you have to go
pay
to
an
jail for a
immigrant
year.
to acid her.
oh,
That is more
well, the
cost
whole
sensitive.
point is it's
Yeah.
like it's your personal vengeance. That's
Yeah.
why I never get people
Yeah.
that hire hitmen. It's like if I want someone dead, like